Oh, there's a problem. Hold on. Fuck. Nobody's hearing you guys. They're only hearing me. I need to fix this.
Let's be honest, they all came here.
Okay,
slash
it's
diesel
working.
shop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot to set my volume to my headphones. Because I'm good at this.
Oh yeah,
Getting a lot of echo.
yeah. Your audio like spiked.
Mine?
Yeah, you got way louder.
Okay. That I didn't think that it should
You're quieter now.
weird. For some reason my headset volume is directly being tied to my microphone volume, even though I'm using a actual stage microphone for my sound.
Dang. Well, hello, dreamers, and welcome to a Change Stars of Hoogaloo. We're playing some Change Stars. Here, it's time for a little adventure. A little adventure brought to you by Pat, as we are on a farm. Also, Pat, do you want me to upload the town map?
What do you mean upload the town map?
Like the little painting one that you did.
Oh, sure. Yes, that would be lovely. I would love that on the town map itself. I'm going to make a show post. Sorry, I didn't respond earlier. We are good to go in 5, 4, 3. So very fun, very fast. Let's make tonight.
All right, everyone, we're ready to rock.
Ready to roll.
Yeah, I want to just add a piece of art to the promo post on Twitter that I've tagged one of you in, because I know neither of you other folks use Twitter, and we will find it anyway.
Hey.
You make
a ghosts. We move through this world, leaving no trace.
Indeed.
If someone isn't on Twitter, do they even really exist?
You know, I ask myself that all the time. And I ask myself that because none of you actually exist, so.
Hey, fuck you, I'm here.
Yeah, and I tagged you.
Did you?
You'll see that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Well, I done reckon we're here at the nexus of agriculture and this little portion of Ichthys for.
Oh no, I'm having technical difficulties directly related to doing that accent. Help, I might not be able to continue.
Oh well,
no.
Looks like your options are lemon picking.
Oh God! Oh no, he's actually doing this.
All right. Okay. All right. So let me take control because obviously
I could have been my humble country lawyer. You
still can.
It's too late now. It's too late. I already built my character. They're not built for it.
Bummer.
That's a shame to hear that they built different.
All right. So let me start this off by saying welcome our 2 viewers to oh God, why is that pinged? Let me shift ping literally anything else. Control. There we are. Boop. Tractor. Done. Welcome everybody. Tonight we are going to see a little bit of the farm life, a little bit quieter than usual on Change Stars, because people aren't going to be in spaceships or anything. We're just humble farmers in rural Ichthys, and yeah. So tonight's going to be a small slice of life as this humble farm prepares for a dust storm. So, to set the stage, you are on Ichthys, Ichthys 4 specifically, but everybody calls it Ichthys. It's not the station. Everybody also calls that Ichthys, but they're wrong, and you're right. Because you're on the planet. And
Yeah, I mean, one of them is a landmark in the, war to end all wars until the one with the Rast comes, but we're the important ones.
I mean, yeah, the station wouldn't be spinning if it weren't for you and the work that you do. You, yourselves, feed the frontier. And yeah, it's proud work. You should feel proud at the very least, because all the Trinity propaganda tells you to. But you are people of the earth, and here to perpetuate the society that helps you whenever you need help, and vice versa. So you are all operating out of a small little commune in the center of an agricultural region. They're all agricultural regions, but yours is yours. And you are probably a member of one of the households in town. You don't have to necessarily claim one of these buildings here as your own, because there's about 12 others in this small town that you live in. It's a center of commerce-ish stuff. Like there's a place for the koi to park when it drops deliveries, and there's plenty of vehicles. You all share what you need, and some of you even have little private gardens where you grow your own little vegetables and things from the homeland and your personal backgrounds that you find comforting. But predominantly, you cater to the hungry mouths of the frontier by manning the drones and doing the gritty work that needs to be done to harvest and plant the massive swaths of grain and corn and other necessities that the Trinity desperately needs. Because the frontier is not nearly as plentiful as this particular planet, by and large. Some of you may have come from off-world and seen the bleak metal scrapings that people can elicit out of the soil on other worlds. But here, the earth is bountiful and full of the perfect medley of nutrients to grow both mononomorph and terramorph plants. So it is truly a remarkable large planet upon which you all reside now. So, having set the scene, and without further ado, and I'll play a little bit of passive positive synth courtesy of Diesel Shot's friend and family member, if I may be so bold, Cole the Mighty, whose information is plastered all over our Discord. If you haven't heard of Cole, you haven't been paying attention to Change Stars.
I've heard of Cole. It's a rock.
Yes, it is a rock.
Black.
And also our friend.
Is
a
Cole
powerful
considered
rock.
a rock?
Cole can
Yeah.
consider himself whatever he decides.
Cole does rock. Also, I like how Max is at the race to the bottom to like make the worst jokes than I make, but still try to criticize me. Like, I love that.
Anyway.
Those are two things I do: make shitty jokes and criticize Lee. Like, I'm not sure how you expected any other behavior from me after like a decade of this.
While these two banter, and having introduced Cole, let me go ahead and introduce our players, starting with our guests. No, actually, let's start with somebody who can just spew this out. You've been on Diesel Shot. Actually, I mean, y'all know how this works. You're all streamers. I'm going to start with Madeline. Who are you playing tonight?
All right. Hi, I am playing Industry Curiosity. I am conducting a long-term efficiency study of agriculture in the Trinity. I have been away 17 years. I am faithful in service to my queen. Out of, character voice, Industry Curiosity is... So, I mean, all Mirai are asexual, but, like, the closest thing to asexual for a Mirai, where, like, she feels weird when the queen's pheromones, like, not in a great way. Like, it's so, like, she's taken a long-term assignment away from the hive, working in agricultural towns, and claims that she's eager to get back home, but like really she's not. She feels uncomfortable there, but like she doesn't want to be a Ronin either, so she's negotiating that space.
This is a perfect place for a social yet unique individual such as yourself. Thank you so much for introducing your character, Madeline. And now let's switch over to Sin. Tell us a little bit about yourself, yourself and where we can find you, but also introduce your character.
Well, hey y'all, I'm Crimson Galaxy. That's Krimsin, because I'm not me without a little bit of sin. And today I'm going to be playing Catan Crayut, and that is a shoot, my brain no worky sometime. Hold on. Yeah, a Thren mechanic who's literally just like, out here trying to make sure everything stays up and running nice and like help out her community. But like really, I think that she has dreams of going out further into the stars as a ship's mechanic, because it's more high stakes and mechanics are her life.
All right. She dreams for the skies. Fantastic. Now, let's hear a little bit about Enigmar.
Who is Enigmar? Why is Enigmar?
Well, we know why is Enigmar. It's because Enigmar didn't get his character info in on time.
When is Enigmar past the character deadline? Where is Enigmar on this planet, apparently? But there's one thing we can say for certain. Enigmar definitely has a still in their house.
Like, you could just buy alcohol at the store, right? It's like, no, Enigmar has a still in his house.
I could just buy alcohol at the store, but what if the store runs out? We have a lot of grain lying around, Madeline.
That is true, and you are encouraged to make your own still. The Trinity.
Oh, I am. Shit, I was thinking it was like a basement.
Well,
okay, I have a dope still.
You're encouraged, and the Trinity would, of course, allow you to acquire those provisions as part of your luxury coupon utilization.
Hey, Max.
You could
I
absolutely.
think it's you laughing at my tag sign isn't okay. No, I'm joking. Sorry.
Yeah. So if you're wondering what Enigmar's like, Enigmar is like the sound of the waves crashing upon the beach, but when you're like 2 blocks away from the beach and a little bit drunk.
I can tell that a little bit drunk is a feature of this character more than most. All right, and last but not least, let's hear from Slim McDougal.
It's not the he's not the least, he's the least of them all. It's Slim McDougal. Slimmin is man of few words, many meaningless stares off into the horizon. He enjoys the satisfaction that comes from a long day of manual labor and throwing bales and the taste of a nice cold beer and the hum of the hollow screen after a job well done. Hello, Ken Crowley. Thank you for the follow. And he also loves thanking the followers on twitch.tv/dieselshot and remind them they can impact the course of events by redeeming channel points for A Dangerous to Go Alone. And
this Slim
Crimson
McDougal
Galaxy
guy has a lot in
RPG.
common with the stuff that he says at the beginning of every session.
Yeah, Slimmin, he's a man of few
he's
words, but a man of wise words.
Little schizophrenic, he obviously the Trinity has plenty of medication and therapy, but
as a treat,
some sub.
you can have a little.
I can tell this is going to be an interesting game.
So he's slim. He's slimming, and that's who he is, and ain't too much to it.
All right. So let me tell you a little bit about the town that you all live in. Whether you grew up here or got transplanted here, or mother told you to come here and therefore you did. It's a small town. There's maybe 12 or so houses, and there's like a big common area surrounding the kind of, actually all of y'all are standing in the place where the koi usually drops. It's kind of a landing pad, kind of a meeting area sometimes. And of course the koi comes with deliveries. It might be owned by, or it piloted regularly, not owned, because this is a shared ownership situation here. It might be piloted by one of you four folks on the regular, or it might be piloted by somebody else in town. That's of course up for you all to decide. But this is also just a kind of public greeting or meeting area, and there's a couple houses. You could belong to one of them should you so desire. Feel free to speak up when I mention. Only two of them have NPCs at the moment, but they are large group homes predominantly. So you'd expect more than one family living in some of them. We have the Plain family. We've got Ma Plain, The Plain, and Mrs. Plain. All of whom are, and actually, where's he at? Mr. Plain. All of whom are in a relationship with Ma Plain, who's the matriarch of the household. It's a kind of a traditional Dren setup, but they've incorporated some humans into the mix. And there is a single daughter of the family, the biological child of Ma Plain and The Plain. And she's a rather moody, keep to herself kind of individual, but she does do some essential work around the town every now and then. She has a flair for mechanics, so she's probably met with, at the very least, Cathan, if not, in a shared living situation. It's up to you all. So there's the Plain family, which you can feel free to insert yourselves into to some degree. And then there's the Wesley family. Got Mr. Wesley, Ma Wesley, and Morgana Wesley, who's a very fascinated, not fascinating, but fascinated individual who loves learning things and be a bit flighty with regards to keeping those things in her mind. But she's absolutely fascinated by the world and desperately wants to see more of it. Not just this world, but the Trinity at large. And we also have, aside from the Plain family and the Wesley family, Geg. Oh, Geg. Geg's great. Greed, excitement, generosity. Tends to, would you believe it or not, the logistics of the town. And she is a very, very excitable, but earnest listener. And hears the problems of the town and, tries to her best to answer them. And you've got a setup where there is a communally shared koi, which you use to go farther distances than your tractor or the other equipment of the farm will allow. Due to the fact that you're all in the center, where usually it would be parked, I'm not going to place it right now. And you also have a half-track sandhill, which is usually used for construction purposes around town. If any heavy lifting or digging is required, that's the piece of equipment for the job. And then you have a tractor, which looks a lot more finished than the art I'm showing you.
Look, I am holding up a diagram of a tractor. Everyone look at this diagram of a tractor. Don't look at the real tractor. Here I have a diagram.
Exactly. And then, yeah, you also have a variety of drones, and prominently, each family is, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, but by and large, there are 12 households and there are 12 circular farm fields that are tended to by the 12 bison drones that are very, very large harvesters, pretty much, which do long sweeping circles of these fields, typically when the harvesting season has come. And fortuitously, some of the crops are actually in that stage of harvesting. Others have just begun. This is a very very uniquely set up planet in which it's rather temperate, but it feels a little bit like a temperate summer for the most part, more often than not, which makes it perfect for growing a variety of crops, and also growing them in sequences that they might not otherwise be naturally inclined to. So, all that out of the way, let me just go through the group one more time and ask if you want to live in one of the households that I've described, the 3 households, Wesley, Plain, and Doug. Or,
so there's 2 of them which call to me. On one hand, the idea of Enigmar living in the plain house sounds fitting. On the other hand, Deg.
On the other hand, Geg. By the way, Geg is also something. So the Morai can't speak necessarily. They don't have audible. They don't have the ability to audibly produce
or
noise.
Humans don't have they're pheromone receptors. Like
One moment. Improv and D&D, thank you so much for the sub, for the water.
Woo! Thank you so much for coming through.
And the stretching, and the dangerous to go alone for Slim.
But Geg can use her mandibles to produce a sound that almost sounds like Geg. And she is incredibly proud of this, and she does say it quite frequently. Or make this noise quite frequently.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
How's it going, Geg?
Geg.
I love it. Good shit.
Her translator says, I'm doing fantastically. The shipment that I've submitted today to the Trinity Center on the planet should be arriving soon. I'm so excited! We have new tractor parts! Yay! Everybody's been complaining about the old ones. Oh, it's
I see
so
that you
good.
have increased the volume and pitch of your translator again.
Yeah, I like the setting
of generosity.
5. Honestly, it's so me.
So these old tractor parts, like, are there plans for them?
Sorry, let me. Yeah. So they're the old tractor parts. I don't know that we've necessarily decided exactly where they're going. Frankly, do you have an idea for them? I was envisioning rustic modern art, some sort of statues. I feel like that would really liven the mood around here.
I mean, I was thinking using the radiator system as a condenser coil, but no, hey.
Oh, I guess we could do that instead. So, having established, of course, Geg, and you two presumably hang out there. Catan, where do you see yourself living?
Honestly,
You don't have to choose one of these. There are other options as well.
well, I'm actually thinking the plain house, just because when you had that one pulled up, I was like, oh, she's really cute. And so now I'm like, yeah, that's probably where I'd be.
Hell
Nice
yeah.
and plain.
All right. Cool. You hang out at the Plain family, and they're such sweet people. Let me drop you in
Throwing
here.
stones in the Discord when it comes to this.
Lee, can I get a couple more beds for this one? Because I'm realizing this is definitely a multi-bed household.
You're gonna be. You're gonna be.
Enigmar usually sleeps in like a ditch.
You could
Not
probably
by
put
choice.
a couple in the maybe a sofa actually would be nice in the front here as well. No, you can put a bed there. Anyway, Ma Plain always has a fresh fruit salad ready every morning. The Plain family actually is one of the few that does have like a little private lot where they grow their own vegetables. And the Plain is something of a horticultural specialist, and they are, they have a real green thumb, and they love introducing moradiform plants to this planet, and growing their own traditional Thren ingredients for foods. The Plain is also a huge aficionado of cooking, so they've always got something in the oven.
Perfect. That's perfect. Yes, I think that another another Thren would love living with them if they're like making that stuff, and yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Mr. Plain sleeps on the couch a lot. He's typically in and out. You're not entirely sure what Ma Plain sees in him, but doesn't talk that much, and he's got a bit of a gruff demeanor. But he always knows what to do without all that much telling. He's very intuitive, and for what it's worth, he's never. You don't think that he's a bad person, just kind of a gruff, introverted one, and he's out of town very frequently. He's kind of one of the in-betweens between the Trinity Center and out. He's currently here though. And what about you, Lee? Where would you like to live? You don't have to live anywhere here, but you could live.
What about the unoccupied house?
Okay, that's perfect.
It's just the profile fits his demeanor. Slim.
You have
It's not slim though. It's even in all dimensions.
That's fair. I will live here because it is the slim in this house.
You are not alone in this residence though.
One's also
there is
particularly slim.
another person here. You actually don't know her name. She does not speak, and she does not seem inclined to. She gives you a nod every morning, though.
That's fine by me.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I get by on slim conversation.
Like they lived there. Like, is the name on the deed to the house or something?
Those who have seen her name on paper know that it's Red, R-E-D, but she doesn't speak that much.
Okay, like that much, or like at all?
At all. She's never, when she's doing her job, she's doing her job. When she's in the house, she's in the house, and she never comes to the parties or the.
I assume not just mean it like she doesn't communicate through any sort of adaptive technology or mime or.
No, you've never seen her talk, and you're fairly certain that she could if she wanted, but you just haven't seen her talk.
How does she get groceries?
She writes her order down on her slate and submits
so then she does communicate, or
You would know that on the second floor of this building, Slim, there's a little attic which has a drop-down ladder. She spends most of her time in there, and you know that she has some computers in there.
Well,
a gamer.
I take Slim.
She doesn't speak in public because she's afraid of saying a gamer word.
Oof. Most of the time, though, she's out of everybody's hair.
Slimming down those odds.
They're out of hers. Indeed. So, all right, let me walk you through the morning then. Having all this established. Catan. The morning rooster crows, which is an expression, an old human expression. Somebody does have in town a very loud horn that sounds kind of like a rooster that crows usually around 6 a.m. And everybody.
So someone comes
seems
out
to
at
go
6
on
a.m.
it.
every fucking morning and blows a horn.
Yeah, it's an
This is a
eccentric little
farming
town.
community. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. It's a little.
What
it's a little
possibly
farming.
needs to be done at 6 a.m.? The plants are gotta grow.
We have
the
to
animals
push the
need
button.
milked.
We have to push the button that starts
Well, the person who's getting up to
irrigation
play the horn, couldn't they
process.
just push the button and let the rest of us sleep in?
Well, I mean, you're
well,
free
that's
to.
not
It's
their
just a
job. Their
sound.
job is blowing the horn.
Exactly. Everybody has their place in this town. It's so lovely. And by the time you hear the rooster crow, you can already smell that Vaplane has something whipped up in the kitchen. It smells delightful. It's definitely got fruit in it. It's some fragrant maraud fruit. You believe there's also some implawat in it, in addition to that very pungent forward flavor that you can almost smell. And wherever you've been sleeping, you're greeted rather early on by Ma Plane, who comes over and says, "Good morning," as she swoops in and hugs Va Plane.
I guess I'm kind of
from behind.
confused. Like, I mean, wouldn't we call them by their first names because we're not their
Possibly.
kid? Like, I wouldn't call someone else mom.
They refer to each other as such, and
Yeah, like parents do that. Like, my parents call each other mom and dad occasionally, but like, if I were another adult, I don't think I would call them that.
everybody in town does, because I don't want to come up with another name.
Imagine you're a pilgrim and you're just calling the woman like Goody family name or whatever, People be up to it.
It's literally both because they totally do refer to each other as Mon and Va, but also because I do not want to come up with too many NPC names that you will all forget. This is for your own good, honestly.
That's fair. That's fair. Hey Ma, hey Da. Smells amazing this morning. What's up? What are you making?
Thank you. It's a little bit of a fusion meal. It's like a tart. It's got some of my traditional vegetables and a little bit of my flair. And you can see as they pull out from the oven a huge tray. They've got like mitts and they're wearing an apron. Really cutesy human kitsch stuff. And they pull this tray out, and there's so many tarts, and you can see they're circular, filled with seeds on the breaded portion, and in the center there's some sort of custard that you immediately recognize as that implawat and that other undescribable fruit fragrance coming off of it.
Indescribable fruit.
Indeed. And they put it down on the top of the oven, and they turn around and they say, "We're gonna have to give this about 15 minutes before it's any good." But isn't it
Don't
just so
sell
lovely
yourself
smelling?
short. I'm sure it's amazing right now.
Ma says, when they say that you shouldn't eat something for 15 minutes, it's usually because you'll burn your tongue on it.
Yeah, that's probably fair, but sometimes the pain is worth the deliciousness.
The plane beams at that and it's just like, "Oh, you're always such a flatter." And they kind of jauntily out into the main room and start to prep to lay out kitchen or stuff for whatever, it's dining stuff for the morning meal. And they arrange the seed crackers and other good things, and there's a little bit of cheese for the human residents of the house in case they want cheese and crackers for their morning. It's it's a whole affair. People actually from
Jeez,
other families roll into this house every now and then too for the morning treats, because Boplane is just notorious for doing this. And the daughter of the two of them, Wangyatha Plane, she rolls out kind of on the later side, a little bit after you. She gives you a sup nod, and while Boplane is prepping the table, she sneaks in, kind of stealthily almost. You notice her, but Moplane is quite busy and doesn't, and nabs one of the little custard-topped tarts off the oven and tosses it into her satchel, and gives you a wink as she's sliding towards the door. Do you say anything?
No, I think I just am like, I wouldn't get her in trouble. Fuck that.
Well, she sneaks out, or she gives you like a nice knowing smile, like thanks, and sees her way out. The door creaks a little on her way out, and Ma Plane looks up from the refrigerator and says, "Oh, what was that? Don, you're for some reason I thought somebody went out the door." Huh.
Well, I don't know. Somebody might have, but I wasn't really paying attention. Sorry.
That's all right. I feel like I'm losing my mind some days. And from the other room, Mr. Plane says, "Oh, I'm sure if you've lost anything, somebody around here can find it." It's still a little weird, but
If it's broken, I can fix it.
You are a handy woman. As the morning progresses, the other families go about their due diligence. The rooster crows at around 6 in the morning, and I'll assume you're all maybe in the bed area. Let's say Geg is as well. I don't want to assume. Feel free to state that you don't
Yeah, we're all
sleep in this
snuggled up.
clearly bedroomy area. Geg is actually a bit, extroverted and would be the cuddling kind if either of you were so inclined.
No, my character
How-
isn't. Feels pressured by social convention to stay with the only Mariah in town, but actually does not like Geg very much.
That is entirely
I'll
valid.
cuddle with Gag. You know what? One of us has to be a good person. And for some reason, it's me, which is a shocker to us all.
Indeed. Geg, hearing the rooster crow, kind of stretches. Oh, looks like it's morning. Hooray! This is the day that our shipment arrives. That is diegetic. Industry curiosity that the translator is actually programmed to do a variation of the same kind of weird yawn. It's a different one each time, or so it's supposed to be. But you've noticed the pattern that there are probably somewhere between 12 and 16 unique sounds that it elicits. You're not sure if there's a pattern, but you assume at this point it's randomized because it doesn't seem to cycle. But it could be a long form pattern in which it plays them at odd times, but goes through it. And you might have, if you were so inclined, begun to take note and try to determine if it is in fact randomized or a very long form pattern. But that's not for me to decide.
Yes, indeed. Greed, excitement, generosity. It is morning, as it has been for, at least as I have documented, the past 132 days. I see that you were equally excited as you were
Wait,
for the past 132 mornings.
I'm not entirely awake yet, but I don't think it's been morning for 132 days. I think it's been, some evenings
No,
and
morning
afternoons.
arrives each day.
Yeah, but
and
that
is
wasn't what you
noted
said.
each day.
I mean, yeah. Sometimes things are worth noting just because they happen a lot.
Yes, yes, they are. It's great. It's good to note things, especially when they happen in cycles, like mornings, like this morning. Such a good morning. Who's hungry for? She looks you all over. Different things. She looks at you and Nigmar and says, I would have said, the starch paste, but I've
had worse.
Well, I wouldn't advise you eat our starch paste.
I trust me, don't worry. I got a bacon sandwich with my name on it.
It will degrade your teeth after a couple of consumptions. And it's certainly not going to be digestible to you if you try. It could actually cause ruptures in your stomach. Best not.
Well, there goes that dare.
Indeed, the silicates are just so hard for humans to metabolize. It's a pity, because I'm a great cook, she says, pouring out the same powder into a bowl and mixing it with a white liquid that isn't milk.
Indeed,
Delicious.
if only you could experience it for yourself.
Questions about this white liquid.
Well, it's not milk. That's
what I heard. I mean, discreetly, when slurp it on that paste. I might try to catch a good sniff of the milk, the not milk, to figure out what it isn't.
Well, it doesn't smell like bleach or any other really strong chemicals.
What does it smell like?
It's hard to say. Anyway, industry curiosity. Geg has made enough for both of you. It is in, however, the same bowl.
It's got to be like the Lady of the Tramp.
Except it's like paste. So
yeah, you're both going to be slurping the
grosser
paste,
than
and
that.
as you slurp closer and closer together.
It's been, integrated with a white liquid, and it's now more of a slurry.
I mean, I eat it. Hopefully it's not too bad.
It tastes normal, which is just about exactly what you expect from Geg's quote-unquote cooking.
I love Geg.
In fairness, Geg does not make the worst food that you've ever had. It's probably about average.
Kind of assume that Mariah's didn't have super sensitive taste, since we
They
mostly
don't.
just eat tubers.
What you can tell, though, is that it doesn't have honey milk in it, which always makes you smile when there is, but it's kind of a luxury to come across because there aren't any hives on this planet, and, it's a bit of a to-do to get some ordered. But you always seem to find some every now and then. Geg, of course, being the person in charge of requisitioning, looks out for you.
Do you have any guess what the mysterious white liquid is after eating some of it?
Apparently not.
Well, it probably has proteins in it, as well as other nutrients that you need.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm. Does it now?
It's a little salty. If I were to say...
Okay. I know what it is. Yeah, okay. That's what I was waiting for.
If I were to say the food had a flavor, it would be kind of like mashed potatoes, but you've added too much water to it. And before you ask, why would you put water in mashed potatoes? I don't have a response to that. It tastes like mashed potatoes with too much water in it. No margarine, no butter, no salt added, and certainly no spices.
Which leaves a large margarine for error.
And it's about what you would expect from meals. You've had many meals before, being that you are an adult and have lived for more than 16 years.
Where does this white liquid come from? Is it like ordered in the shipments? Have I seen it being unloaded?
Yes, there are tubs of it.
Have you seen it being unloaded?
I mean,
There are large cylinders that it is stored in underneath the cupboard.
Yeah, it's actually just like
Jars.
engine grease.
They-
And
Do they have a
dirty
label on
minded.
them, or are they unlabeled cylinders?
They are, large, wide metal cylinders with something written in a Prarie language. And underneath it says, not for Prarie use only, hazardous, in English and Threnfling and Mandarin and Spanish.
I mean, I presume a slate can translate, right?
Yes,
It can translate, yeah.
it says.
So what does the
protein
Prarie
paste
say?
in Prarie?
It says what?
Protein paste.
Of course it does. This is my goal for this session, is to get to the bottom of this stuff.
It actually says
Whoa,
protein.
Max, is your character
dash
trying to
nutrient paste.
investigate something?
I don't know.
Anyway, there is one other person who is still experiencing morning things. The rooster crows. And as it does, I assume you sleep on the couch, Slim.
Mm-hmm.
As the rooster crows, Red enters and the door opens to her bunk upstairs in the computer room, and she disappears into it, never to be seen again.
And I proceed unflapped in the direction of the fridge. I pull out my carton of strawberry milk and my bowl of Trinityos, right? Trinity teas, excuse me.
Comma. They make that here.
Yeah, I make my my strawberry milk cereal with some citrusy juice, and I just sit down and I have a small pre-packaged People's muffin. They come in very tight clusters and they're hexagonally shaped. So with muff and juice and cereal in hand, Lemon gets ready. And he doesn't have that much. Keeps a slim diet. But
I mean, you've
Cross
described
food
kind of a
groups.
lot of breakfast items to have in
I also
one.
have an entire box of Fruit Loops. On top of that, 6 dozen eggs. In addition, I got a whole loaf of bread, sliced it up, toasted it, slathered it with some jam, shoved it down my pee hole. That's what I call my protein hole.
that Slim saves that for he doesn't want to have that too early or he'll wind up spewing. He wants to have that later in the day. He's keeping it lively, keeping it spry. He looks out the window, and I'm presumably the direction of the sun's rise, but you never know in space. And he enjoys. And he thinks, "Yep, probably gonna throw some bales." And he just says, absent-mindedly, as if there was a camera behind him, like looking out the window, "Yep, storm's coming." And then finishes his breakfast.
Indeed. So, on that note, you're all over here at the Plain household, sitting down to an absolutely wonderful meal. Ma Plain and Da Plain and Mr. Plain and even Ryan Plain, who's, always late to wake up, biological child of Mr. Plain. You assume they're certainly very close. Either biological or non-biological. They're very tight. And Mrs. Plain, of course. You're all enjoying a good communal breakfast. There's fresh fruit. There's the aforementioned custard tarts. There's bread and crackers and cheese. Everybody's just digging in. And the Plain, Mr. Plain says, read the morning report from the tower over yonder. There's a storm brewing on the horizon. It's already hit a few of the communes over. the
Oh,
other
really?
district. Yeah, looks like it's
Yeah.
gonna be a big work day for us, actually.
Yeah, you're telling me. I heard that we were getting the new tractor part shipment in today, and I was going to be installing all of that. So, like, if there's going to be a storm, that might make it a little bit harder to get the work done.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, but there might be a bit of a time crunch. And that tractor's seen better days,
Oh, yeah. Well, we might have to just make it work for the day and install it after the storm because, like, replacing all those parts with enough time to actually get the work done might be a bit of a crunch.
Yeah, no, I don't envy you. If I had any mechanical knack about me, I would lend my hand. The Wesley kid, she's a bit handy with this sort of thing. Why don't you ask her? She's about your age, right? You know that he's constantly trying to get you two together. He plays it off as a bit of a quirk, but he's a man of canned phrases, and dad jokes and other things.
I even saw him with canned bread once.
Did you know?
Did you know you can put bread in a can?
And Mrs.
If
Plain
you have a
says,
can-do attitude.
that's actually a good idea. The more hands we can get on the matter, the better. Frankly, what with a storm coming and all, I better make sure that we've got the house all bunkered down. I'll see about those metal sheets we keep in the storage room.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I should probably be heading out pretty soon to try to get started on all of that, but if y'all aren't done bunkering down by the time I get back, I'll be glad to help throw those up.
Ryan Plain says, does this mean we're gonna have to move all those boxes in the storage room to get to the metal sheets? Oh, it was such a bother putting them there in the first place. They're so heavy.
Hey, kid, this is communal living. We all got to do our part.
But I put them there in the first place. I shouldn't have to pull them out. I already did my work. Ugh.
Yeah, there's work every day. Come on.
I bet they don't have to move boxes and Cyrus system. You're pretty sure they do.
I know that there's boxes everywhere. Like, what do you mean?
Not like heavy boxes with like machinery and stuff. Shit just works on Osiris. I wish I was somewhere better. God.
Okay, first off, nothing just ever works. There are people like me behind the scenes in all of these places making sure that it works. And we do still have to deal with all of these boxes and everything. So, like, if you were in the Osiris system, who knows what job they'd have you assigned to? At least here, you get to be with your family.
I guess. Yeah, and Mr. Plain gives him a look like, listen to your housemate.
No.
He's like, fine. Well, I mean, like, until you need me, I'm gonna be in my room. Thanks for the food, Ma Plain. Da Plain, thanks. The Plain's like, of course. I hope you enjoyed the custard. Yeah, it's pretty good. Really like that. Thanks.
Mind if I grab a couple more of these on my way so I have something to snack on for lunch?
Oh, of course. I made enough. Here, take a little baggie. Mrs. Plain, do you mind grabbing a couple of the wax bags from the fridge or from the drawer by the fridge? Already on it. and a couple wax bags are elicited, and a few of the things or a few of the tarts are dropped in, enough for you, and then
Okay.
another couple wax bags are pulled out, and it's enough for your friends and associates.
Cool. Now I have one question out of character real quick.
Yeah.
Can you pull up who Mr. Plane is trying to hook me up with?
Oh, yeah. Let me
I just want to know who this is.
Yeah, the Wesley daughter, Morgana Wesley.
Oh.
She's a constant enthusiast of things that she has fascinations, and then she forgets everything about them, and then maybe sometimes goes back to them, like out of character. She definitely has ADHD, like she definitely has like those brief moments of this is my favorite thing ever, and then that phase of her life is ended. She was really interested in being a mechanic for a bit, then a computer technician, and she's been an understudy to practically everybody in the town. At this point, she's a bit of a jack of all trades. But the one thing above all that she has constantly had a desire for is getting off-world, seeing the Trinity at large.
Oh, wow. We might actually be a pretty good fit.
Yeah.
All right, well, I just grab the bags and head out to wherever it is I'm going.
Mm-hmm. As you leave, you see a few other folks have already shown up in town. Leslie Arnold's, who's you would know, a very suspicious woman, does not really get along with everybody else around here, but that's between you and whomever else you might gossip with. She's always a little bit skeptical and suspicious of folks, and it's not particularly becoming of communal behavior sometimes. And
she's a little bit xenophobic.
Potentially. not in a way that has put her in therapy or anything, but she could be a little bit eccentric. ... And a few other people are in town. A guy named Mark, who's fancies himself head of security, but really he's just a farmer like most other folks.
Security against what? The other farms?
I mean, he's a bit of a you would note that he has a shotgun, and he is absolutely not afraid to use it should there be wolves or something. He's always talking about the things from the relics. And you would know that the things from the relics is probably referring to the massive piles of junk that fell from space during the war. He is pretty convinced that there's some meat units or some of the Fenrir Corps robot dogs that are prowling around there. He's actually gotten a search party out once or twice. It was a bit of a thing when
he thinks they're meat units, and he has a shotgun, and then he went to look for the meat units with his shotgun.
There was a bit of a
Brabloids.
There was a bit of a thing to do when 2 cows went missing from the farm. And people were like,
yes,
well, shit,
meat units, famously big fans of beef.
I mean, well, more to the point, like, it's just a normal shotgun, right? What does he think he's going to do against a murder robot that's built to take on a minor military force?
If I may be so bold as to suggest, he actually has never seen combat and does not know fully well that meat units.
Hasn't he seen an action movie?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely
but in the Trinity
has.
action movies, the meat units lose
real.
Because they're on the bad guy side.
Also, let's be completely real. People who have these types of self-grandializing delusions see themselves as the protagonist of those action movies, regardless of the fact that they don't know anything.
Exactly.
They watch like the various, because I'm sure there's no way you grow up on fucking Ichthus without seeing the holo vids of the second battle of Ichthus Station, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was taught in school, I'm sure.
And they see you guys like, you know, on the platforms in the Father Core shooting at the ones with the spike arms. And they're like, that one must have fallen out of space. That wasn't too hard. See, they just blew them off the platform. I could do that with my shotgun.
They didn't almost all die.
Well, I mean, he has like a chronic case of protagonist syndrome, and he definitely thinks that if there were meat units, he and his posse that he rounded up would be able to take care of them. He armed the folks with, like, you know, a couple of the like stun pistols that are lying around somewhere on the farm, and he has his shotgun, which actually has lethal ammunition, and it's any wonder that he's allowed to keep it. But he hasn't actually ever used it. So.
Yeah.
He mentions it a lot, but he's fairly convinced that there's things from the relics, and those cows never were found. So it's anybody's question as to what happened. But
how long ago was that? The cows going missing.
That was about a year ago now.
Better something from a relic than something from a flood.
Exactly. The things from the
no new ones down. I assume there's freezing. 2 full cows would be probably about 2.5 years worth of meat. So it'll be a while if it was a person.
Exactly. And,
Sorry, I actually have grandparents that ran a farm. So
no, that's awesome. Lee actually grew up on a Tennessee farm, so you know it's.
Well, okay. It's, asterisks. We had Tennessee walking horses, and that was what our farm did. But yes.
Okay, well, I mean, you know, maybe a bit different than cow raising.
Yeah, they didn't eat the horses.
A lot less work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's
I once played Stardew Valley, so we all have expertise here.
And then there's also Krennic and Nagumi, who are 2 tech specialists on the farm who walk around handling issues as they arise. And they absolutely hate each other, which is why they've been married successfully for about 7 years now.
That's hot.
Can't stand each other's guts, and absolutely remark on that every chance they get. And, you know, whenever something breaks, it's the other's fault. And they make passionate love after fixing it communally. And it's always just so cringy to watch.
I should
are we watching?
Watch which part of it? Which part of it are you watching, Pat?
Their relationship to each other, not the making love, unless, you know, that was something pre-negotiated.
I mean, help them fix some things. I mean, I feel like if I can help them fix whatever it is they're working on, I can also help them make up.
Maybe if I can help them fix this tractor, I can help them fix their marriage.
I mean, they seem to be doing fine.
Yeah, well, they're on their way between places, though. They give you a nod actually while you when you step out. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing that, you see them. Period. And while you're seeing them,
I'm seeing them, period.
I'm seeing them, comma.
I would hope they would have that under better control.
While you are seeing them, we take a backtrack in time. By the way, the pace completely average, goes down just about as gravelly as usual, and Geg. For her part says, oh, that was lovely. I think I need a rock though. And she goes and actually grabs a rock from one of the cupboards. It's a kind of pumicey looking rock. And she tosses it back and says, oh, much better. Excellent. That'll help with the fiber.
Eats a rock?
Yeah, it's for a gizzard. Usually you have 1 or 2 kicking around. She maybe passed hers. It's part of the biological function.
If you're living on a space station long term and don't have access to a rock as Mirai, could you use like a bolt or a nut?
not really the same, but
Yeah, I mean, like, they
pretty
ship food
easy.
to space stations. Can you eat a nut or a bolt if you're out
Well,
of
I'm saying if
human
you're on a
food?
space station that isn't set up to handle Mirai,
I mean,
you're on
like-
like an old human Empire one.
so they could probably make do
You
with a
literally
bit of ceramics.
just send the food there.
I'm saying the food's already there. The food's old. It's old food.
Really, you're just stuck in a human.
You know what? Fucking if a person can be put in stasis from the human Empire days and still be around, I'm gonna say there's food kicking around from back then too.
Yeah, I mean there is, but they would supply a station. Like Mirai don't eat human food, so if
I
that
want to assume
happened,
this
we
is
would
diegetic
starve.
dialogue.
This is entirely diegetic dialogue. That's a good point. I now realize that in this situation, it wouldn't be an issue as to whether or not they could get more guzzard stones. The real issue is that they would starve because there was no food for them.
Yes.
Here for one? She says, offering you one. And then she looks to Enigmar and says, would you like... Nope. You don't eat these.
Yep.
Oh, I miss the hive life.
Yes, I too miss hive life. Chomp.
Wasn't it great?
Chomp.
Constantly be surrounded by, just so many vibrant smells. You know, there's lovely smelling people around here, but you know, it's not really the same.
Yes, humans do not smell like Mirai.
They smell like pink, you know, and it's not like the vibrancy. It's like a whole rainbow back at the hive. It's just-
Vibe.
I'm right here.
but you know, we are assigned to do our lot in life, and that is what we must do. Of course. I'm sorry. Pink is a lovely color. I mean, it's one of my favorites, actually. She puts, the unused stones back into the cupboard, along with a couple others, and it makes the sound that rocks make when they bash into each other in a wooden cupboard. That sound. I would be more descriptive, but frankly, that is a sound.
I mean, the thing is, I know exactly what sound you're talking about. I want to make a joke here, but like, I got nothing.
Exactly. Like, if I had another way to describe it, but I don't. We've all had rocks in cupboards at various points in our lives, usually when we were kids, but some of us still have cupboards with rocks in them, and that is awesome. And then she goes over to the computer and says, "Oh, that shipment should be getting here any moment. And oh, would you look at that? There is a warning. There's a warning. Oh goodness, let's take a look at this warning. Oh, Trinity Center warning about
It is most
weather.
likely a dust storm.
Oh,
A
inclement
common thing
weather.
in this region
Yes. How did you know?
because it is always a dust storm. That is their major meteorological phenomenon.
Right. Well, we haven't had one in like a month. You know, the planes I think have a big box full of metallic sheets to cover the windows. Oh goodness, I wonder if they have spare. I don't know where we put ours. Do you remember? It was a month ago. Oh goodness, I should requisition more.
I believe
we
we
have
placed them in the plane's shed for some reason to give the young one employment.
Oh right, Ryan. He needs more things to do.
Of course, well, he was meant to organize a path from them through the shed. I believe he piled everything directly in front of them as an example of human inefficiency. Which I noted at the time as an efficiency consultant. This did not appear to interest him.
Well, that's Ryan for you. Things don't work quite the same as they do on the hive.
Yo, Kennedy, the Trinity can't fucking spring for some storm shutters. We have to get like sheet metal out of a shed and prop it up against our windows.
Well, I mean, you know, they could, but
No, this is in character. This is my character bitching in
The
character.
cost of repairs for the occasional damage versus the cost of issuing new storm shutters is not worth it.
Oh yeah, it totally. The Trinity, you know, always going on and on about, oh, farmers are the most important people we have. Become a farmer, but you know, when it's like, hey, can I have a bedroom? as a farmer? They're like, nah, fuck you.
I mean, there is an available house if you wanted your own separate room, but I thought we liked cuddling together.
I mean, no, the cuddling's great. The cuddling's 10 out of 10.
Yes,
Okay.
who would ever wish to leave this house and seek their own private residence? Certainly not someone from a communal species,
Oh,
such
definitely
as
not.
humans.
Now, see, the thing about the storm shutters, like, doesn't that feel like a no-brainer? This fucking storm every month.
Right. Well, I mean,
T Inc, thank you for the follow. Let's T pose for T Inc, everyone.
So after your breakfast is cleared away, what are your you know that the shipment is going to be arriving fairly soon.
Our job to go get the shipment? Would we help with that?
Presumably, those around would assist. Your industry curiosity. What specifically do you conceive of yourself doing on the Commune again?
I mean, I'm a drone pilot and
Yes.
systems person.
So
So,
you might
while
not
there's an efficiency consultant, a lot of that is just doing all of the technical jobs that don't involve actual mechanics to see how they work. So that's my main thing.
So the shipment's going to include a lot of tractor parts, but it should also have a few parts for maintenance of the bisons. Actually, this is not just me coming up with this on the spot to involve you. This was definitely originally planned. And now that I'm saying it, it sounds like I'm not being ingenuous, but I am.
I mean, I don't see we need to lie about it. And it's also she probably organized the shipment, even if, didn't do the mechanics, because she likes organizing stuff.
Indeed. Well, there are drone parts coming, so you might want to be there to oversee that. Enigmar, not sure what you do. I don't think you do either.
Enigmar,
You're going to
mostly
be
you day
involved.
drink and write shitty poetry, so...
Slim McDougal.
There's slim odds they're gonna get it done in time without me, so I head on out with my a soft clench of my gorilla grip hands and
That's about it.
dip my hand to pull the straw, and it's time.
I really
to
regret letting you make that one of the skills. Anyway,
I love Gorilla Grip. I don't know why a non-mechanic has it, but...
Because
It's
I
because
need
Lee likes the name.
because I need to be able to take a firm grasp for tossing bales.
well, it won't help you do that mechanically at all, because it's not what it is.
you all arrive in the center of the town just as a billow of dust is elicited from the earth as a koi descends from the heavens above. And it's not one of the ones with the little grippy arms, actually, but it does have a big crate full of stuff that it has deep within its bowels, and as it descends to the ground and lowers its landing clasps, it sinks a little bit into the soft soil beneath, and out of the cockpit emerges everybody's favorite pilot. Everybody's favorite pilot, Faith. Faith slides out, pulls her aviators down a bit under her eyes and over her the tip of her nose, and she says, "Look what the cat dragged in. I've got a whole shipment for you all. Yes, I am the cat in this instance. Feast!" She's a weirdo. And
Thank you for performing your prescribed function. As always, you do it with a minimal amount of fuss.
I do what I can.
I had faith that you would get here timely.
That's a pun that works in English, but not the language we're speaking. Sorry, that was awful. She does not actually say that. She says, I haven't heard that one before. She slides her aviators back up and she says, well, what are you all waiting for? I'm not the person who unships this stuff. I'm the one who gets it here.
Yes, let us unpack the shipment.
So within, there are several crates, largely equipment for the farm. There's also some food rations. You would note that there's another dozen cylinders of what Enigmar would know is protein nutrient paste. And what,
anything on the crates, anything written on the box.
I read my own native language.
Yeah, I mean, for you, it says, it honestly says about the same thing, but you would note that this is a slurry of indigenous to soil home nutrients or plants and nutrients requisite. It's basically the same as Soylent for humans.
Mm-hmm.
In that it's supposed to supplement / complement a diet and make sure that everybody has the right stuff. There's also a big bag of powder which you're supposed to mix with it, which has the silicates and other essentials that humans can't metabolize. But you do note that a human could actually drink the liquid. It does say hazardous because there are some compounds in it that you're not supposed to eat too much of. For instance, it just has a fuck ton of potassium in it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to sample it as a human, it would be fine. It's not like it has lead.
Yeah, I will say loudly,
lead.
as expected, a shipment from the special breeding grounds loudly so that Enigmar can hear the outside and go about the actual business of unloading stuff.
You know, like you play L.A. Noire and like a clue happens and that little like piano sting plays? It's exactly what goes off in Enigmar's head, and he's like, I'm onto some shit here.
Yeah.
And
I know the truth is out there, and I'm coming for it.
Indeed.
Are
And-
you?
I think Catan just goes inside the ship and doesn't even try to pick up any of the boxes. She's literally just like walking around the ship, looking at everything, like opens the door to the engine room and just stares longingly at it.
Slimon says, the sooner we get hooking, the sooner we'll get done. And
I
he
don't
just
suppose we have any CCUs in our farming colony. Do we just have to carry things like peasants?
Sadly, you do actually have a whatever drones you brought for yourself, and a spider drone that's in some state of disrepair after it was used to unload the last shipment, and took on a bit too much of a load, and the legs bent quite a bit. Actually, some of the drone parts are for that too. And Thiath puts her sunglasses. She's not quite sure whether they're up by her eyes at this point or down by her nose. Neither are you, as she seems to just bring them between the two as something of a gesture continuously. They're perhaps her favorite prop. And she says, doesn't matter to me, but I'm taking my smoke break. And she pulls out a space vape filled with space weed and starts puffing.
I look at him like, are you perhaps familiar with the Marshal Tithiga Trent?
Oh, she's a cousin of mine. Or he's a cousin of mine. Wait, shit. What was Tithiga Trent's gender? She? She's a cousin of mine.
I see.
She's launched a movie actually. She says she's retiring to Azure City. She's gonna be a big celebrity apparently.
Wow, seems like far more productive than that, pursuing the course of justice.
Well, some people do justice. Some people write movies about them not doing justice, and other people just want to smoke and fly high. Teach their own, I say, as she moves her aviators either from their upward position or downward position, which she does seemingly as a punctuation to her sentences, before taking them off, folding them, and placing them in her jacket, before putting them on again and announcing that it's the 30-minute break. Or 10-minute break, sorry.
Okay.
10 minutes, sorry. It's supposed to be at 10:30, but I'm a little late.
So I was just asked you checked the chat. Yeah, so looks like we'll be back in a slim 10 minutes.
Yeah, this is ICTA, Space Minnesota.
Oh, I mean,
all right.
The roll 20 chat, but yeah, so it's 10-minute break?
You're back. Yep, 10-minute break.
All right, back at 10:45.
Sounds good.
All right, while that's going on, I'm going to monologue to the audience. Hello, audience. How's it going? Doing all right? Sleeping well? Getting lots of fiber, lots of potassium, which apparently is very high in this mysterious white substance. I invite you to do a Google search about other white substances and how much potassium they have in them, because I got some results that were very interesting. I guess that was less of a monologue and more call to action. But
Just sort of rambling. He's a rambling man.
Lord, I was born a rambling man.
Yeah, I will say, Max, I now understand the joy of having wireless headphones, because I can now just be nowhere near the computer and hear people.
Yeah, I mean, like, unironically, it's one of those things where once I started doing it, I was like, for like normal gaming, I don't care, but for video calls, it's just so handy not to have to worry about taking them on or putting them off, or being able to step away from the computer and like pace around the room as you're talking. It's just nice.
Yeah, I mean, they've honestly ruined me for alternatives, because oh. So, here we are. We're not even 5 minutes into the 10-minute break yet, and we find ourselves awaiting the next 5 minutes break. In this process, we have to ask ourselves, so what did you have for dinner, Max?
Pizza.
What kind of pizza?
Margarita.
What's that?
You don't know what a fucking margarita pizza is?
Well, I thought you said La Garita, and I was like, huh?
Oh yeah, okay, that's good. Because honestly, if you didn't know what a margarita pizza is, I would have been very concerned.
Yeah, and margarita pizza is the kind of pizza I don't want to eat.
Why?
If you told me, oh, we have pizza, and I would great, and you'd be like margarita pizza, I'd be like, I think I'll get something else.
Why?
It's basically just cheese. I thought that was what you liked.
No, but they're the ones that no, it's mostly like fucking red sauce and you melt some cheese on it.
You put several big blobs of fresh mozzarella. You can't cover
Right.
the whole thing in fresh mozzarella, or it'll be a soup. Because fresh mozzarella puts out so much
Right.
liquid.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I don't like red sauce. I don't like tomato. I don't like tomato byproduct. So with me and pizza, the sauce, I like a slim amount of sauce, if any, or a white sauce instead. So just mouth around on all this blah 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 directly isn't something I want to do, and you have to with margarita pizza. So yes, I literally gotten pizza, figured out it was margarita pizza, and then been disappointed. Wished I got something else. Because that's how little I like margarita pizza.
What do you mean figure it out? How do you not know what kind of pizza you're getting in advance?
I was like a dumb
Hello, waiter. Excuse me, Gonzalo. I would like a pizza. No, I do not want any more details about this pizza.
I was a dumb child, and they had a pizza
5
on the
minutes later,
menu,
pizza shows
and
up.
they
What
didn't.
is this?
They didn't
A margarita
explain.
Pizza?
No,
You should have informed me.
They literally didn't say on the menu that it was a margarita pizza. There's pizza, and so I was like, I'm a dumb child. I love pizza. Give me pizza. And then it was that, and I was like, the fuck is this shit?
You didn't think to ask a follow-up question
You were-
like what sort of
Like,
pizza?
did you hate tomato sauce at that point? Because, like, all pizza except white pizza has tomato sauce on it.
Again,
Also, what the fuck is wrong with you for not liking tomato sauce?
I
It's
dislike it, but I will bear it on a regular pizza where I don't really have to make that much contact with it because it is well coated in cheese.
God, it's really, like, ruining what pizza is, like, the good part of pizza.
Lee just wants cheesy flatbreads.
Yeah, correct. I love that shit.
Yeah, I mean, which is fine, but most people then dip those in red sauce. It's like the correct way to eat them.
The only thing I dip those in would probably be like garlic sauce.
That's highly unfortunate. I'm so sorry to hear that you have no taste.
This is actually really good to know, and I'm kind of glad we figured this out, because from now on, if we're ever ordering pizza for us as a group, we can just ignore Lee.
You can get margarita pizzas, yeah.
Just get whatever the fuck we want, because Lee's pizza opinions are insane and not worth considering our accounting.
I mean, yeah, but will not have tomatoes anywhere because of the acid reflux, so they can have like a quarantine pizza.
We could have the
I
white
guess.
cheese. Yeah, didn't
I
that literally
respect Will
happen
too
last
much
time?
to
We got a white cheese?
Fuck
Yeah.
him just to fuck Lee.
Well, but Will has appropriate taste. He likes the way tomatoes taste. They just cause him great pain. Lee is an
Yeah.
infidel.
Yes.
What if we get Will like a really small personal pizza? It's like just enough for Will, so that Lee has to sit there sadly realizing there is a pizza he would like a lot, but he can't have any.
I mean, Will's kind of a nice person, though. You might give him some. Or maybe not.
Will's
I'm not sure, like...
nice person, honestly.
I feel like he would deny Max pizza because that would be funny. But like Max would deny Lee pizza because that'd be funny to him. But I don't know if Will would deny Lee pizza. I don't know if it's like a transitive property.
I feel like he would. I feel like it's a thing our group bonds over, denying Lee what he wants.
Valid. But I do like the idea that Will's an asshole to assholes as opposed to an asshole to the person that the assholes are usually assholes to.
Hold up. Slow your roll. Are you calling me an asshole? Just because I'm a
Calling
bad
myself
person, my
one
friends.
too. Fuck Lee. I like to think that Madeline, myself, and you, Max, make this trifecta of assholes. Really.
Are you saying James isn't?
Oh, James is.
That's doing
he's,
a
like,
coup. She's
weird.
replacing James in our triumvirate.
Exactly. I'm trying to take over James's place, and I'm doing a great job because guess who's here and who's not here? To answer, I'm here and James isn't. So you know. I've been playing the Moose.
I'm good with
token
this. Yeah,
season.
this is entirely all right with me. This is the objective upgrade.
Oh,
The king is
God.
dead. Long live the king.
I'll take that. Her Majesty the King. Just like they say in Britain these days.
Wow, they made a man queen. Woke gone crazy.
I know, right? So Britain's notorious for being woke, particularly British children authors. And anybody who goes on Twitter and explains, but the British banned slavery first.
Oh God.
I've seen
It's like, yeah, in their country that didn't need slavery for labor, but not in the parts of the empire that did.
You gotta keep in mind, Madeline. They don't count. Canada doesn't count. You ever been to Canada? It doesn't count.
Yes, Canada.
Yeah, Canada was where
notoriously.
the majority of the slavery was for.
Well, the thing is, I haven't been to the
Yeah,
other
that's right.
places, Madeline, so all I can say is I've been to Canada, which was part of the British Empire, and it doesn't count. Just categorically never counts.
Right, yes, Canada. Notoriously the most mistreated portion of the once British Empire.
Yeah, I think so. You don't hear them complain about it that much because they're too polite.
Well, I mean, in fairness, that's because the people who actually originally lived in Canada were pretty solidly genocided.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no, they're still suffering tons of violence.
No,
though,
they're
what's
still
their
doing
name?
it. Don't worry. Keep the traditions up.
Absolutely still up. It's absolutely true. Anyway,
Well, you already brought the mood up.
Mm.
Hello, dreamers.
it's been about 10 minutes, so whenever Crimson gets back.
So,
I hope
question,
today's-
Lee.
I mean, I know it pulled today out of my ass, but I hope you're at least enjoying yourselves.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Lee, important question. For this session and this session alone, can we refer to the audience as creamers instead of dreamers because of my mystery?
One moment.
Hey, Crimson!
Request approved.
Oh God.
Awful.
I was
Why
really
did
hoping
I-
you would say no. This was a mistake.
Your appointment
So
to FEMA.
sad.
Your appointment to FEMA will be approved within the month.
He wasn't wearing sunglasses in that cutscene.
Hi,
Much like
Crimson!
Thomas Aquinas described the shining city on the hill, so too will I create a new society. Bob Page has a very interesting reading of Thomas Aquinas.
What will the society be based on?
Based,
Tell me.
Cream.
based on
What do you
the
mean
cream.
based?
Society based on
The cream must flow.
I mean, that sounds like a society I want to live in. We live in a society. Gamers rise up.
But yeah, so for this stream only, our viewers are now no longer dreamers, they're creamers. Oh, I have like gunk on my glasses.
Oh.
Oh
I hope
no,
it's not cream.
gunk! That's so apropos.
Somebody's gonna make me cream? What?
Something like that actually. On the somebody is going to make you actually pull cream in large cylinder crates out of the koi right here and move them to places actually as I transition back into the game.
So,
Woo!
as the crates are being unloaded,
I'm
Enigma
quite
kind
used
of like,
to
you know,
pulling cream out of things.
Enigma leans up against the side of the building around the corner from the pilot, you know, whips out a newspaper, and everyone's like, where the fuck you get a newspaper? And then, you know, trying to be subtle but doing a very bad job, sort of like mumbles, that speaks lowly to the pilot, and is like, you want another case of the stuff?
Sorry, how do you? Can you repeat that, please?
Want another case of the stuff?
Of the stuff.
Yeah,
sort
you
of
know the
stuff?
stuff, the good stuff. You do like dink, dink, dink.
Would she have any reason to actually know what stuff you're referring to?
I mean, I'm imagining a scenario in which my character has repeatedly like sold her a case of my homemade hooch for her to use
do you
and
make like
or
that
like
good
pawn off.
booze? Because like she could just buy booze anywhere. It's not like it's like a town where people can get like she travels.
It's excellent. It's very good
All right.
stuff.
So I'm gonna actually ask, I think, for the first roll of the night.
Oh my god.
All right. Give me a communicate roll, please.
I'm rolling a communicate.
I
but
want to
could-
see like how good the alcohol is. What skill is that?
That is actually a good point. I want a
Like medicine?
I was gonna say medicine, actually. Yeah.
Well,
Either
perfect.
medicine or systems, whichever's better.
All of us are exactly the same.
Holy
Yeah, every
shit.
single roll I do is a 5. So like, it doesn't matter what you ask me to roll. I roll 5.
That's wow, very impressive. And also, with that sort of all these roles combined, you would have gotten her in the first place because communicate. But you actually make some damn good hooch. So she
I'm
responds.
surprised.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me as well.
Another
Team
jug.
character.
I'll take what you can give me. If you've got a barrel, it's even better. You know, people pay top dollar for this sort of stuff back on the other communes. By
Oh,
top dollar, I mean they give me things that I prefer, like
Yeah,
taste.
I know what you're saying.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I got a barrel I can roll on down. We'll say it's a engine lubricant or some shit.
Excellent, excellent. And the usual price work for you?
Yeah.
You see her fish into her pocket, and you hear the clattering of what you can only assume are right and proper Raidos filling the innards of her pocket as she pulls out what she usually gives you. Two
One
bags
scratch
of-
and sniff sticker. Great flavor.
She gives you 2 bags of human weed. And she says, "Careful. I hear your kind doesn't take it like they give to me."
Yeah. So, one more question before I let you go. You would happen to know anything about those canisters that you keep shipping around?
Well, I mean, if you're so inclined to all of a sudden speak with a Rastian dialect, I can tell you a thing or two about that.
Yeah,
I
tell me
prefer
what
to
you
speak
know.
my usual
My
dialect.
ears are listening to the sounds.
Well, between the two of us, pretty sure it's what Norai eat.
Yeah, but like, what is it? I got some suspicions about this white liquid.
It's a good question. You know what? I hadn't put much thought to it. She pulls her aviators down below her eyes, leans in, and says, "But I could do some snooping for you if you want. If you're," she says as she pulls her aviators back up and leans even closer, "so inclined."
I am.
Well, she pulls her aviators back as she also retracts herself from that position. I happen to have a manifest in my slate of exactly what is in those crates or containers and where it comes from. And
Speaking of which, can I hack into that manifest to make up something ridiculous to perpetrate the ruse?
you know what? I'm gonna say abso-fucking-lutely. Yes, give me a systems check now.
I love this. This is the best game. I've
Oh
ever
great!
played.
Now I'm gonna have to.
This is gonna be a fun
Stress
simple
myself out
game.
for
You can
that.
totally stress this out. Yeah, absolutely.
I was really hoping you would fail the second one. That'd be so funny if you tried so hard to do this dumb joke and I just figure it out.
All right. So, she. By the way, you get the impression. Actually, give me an insight check, both of you. Industry curiosity and enigma. And actually, honestly, if you want to do it too, you're kind of in the same place at the moment, I would assume. Catan, if you want to as well, feel free to make an insight check. All right, industry curiosity. You know what, Enigma, I'm going to go ahead and say roll 2d6.
2d6. All right.
No.
That's
Actually,
1/5.
wait, hold
That's-
on. Yep, you do that, and I'm going to do something else.
A perfectly average roll. Enigmar.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, perfect. All right. So, because she's talking to you and only you, you don't pick up on this at all, Enigma, because those two successes cancel out. But industry curiosity, you're listening to this, you're engaged in your own subterfuge. You get the distinct impression that I say as I pull my aviators down, she's kind of just fucking with this guy. And so she looks at her slate, and she actually looks it over with a bit of a surprise. As you saw, she was about to write something in a name, and all of a sudden that name changes in front of her very eyes. As she kind of hands the slate over and says it comes from.
So basically, there's an obvious fake letter that just says that it's supplements, but like it's pretty clear that the rest of the information is redacted. It's a private cultural matter. The Prarie that's not officially listed in the Trinity records according to the official seal.
Yeah, you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? It says
Yeah, people look at me like this is some sort of nut job thing, but like I've seen this stuff, I've smelled this stuff. You see, this shit sort of comes up. You're telling me this is just some sort of like plant slurry or something? I don't buy that for a second.
She leans in, her aviators coming down from her eyes as she says, I think you might be onto something. She pulls them back up. Didn't say that just a minute ago.
Yeah.
She leans in, her eyebrows going crazy as she pulls her aviators down and up one more time before she turns around, her collar going wide upon her neck as she pulls her aviators down one last time and says, we'll be in touch, before pulling them right back up.
Sounds good. And then I go, discreetly roll a massive barrel of booze to the ship.
Yes, and for her part, it seems that she did that dramatic exit only to go and sit on the cockpit chair and just look at her phone while smoking.
I mean, half of the dramatic exits in my life.
Kind of worried about how effective she is as a pilot with the constant aviator thing.
Her vision is augmented.
She probably doesn't do that while she's flying.
I mean, I want to
But
think
she does
that.
get high!
Pilot, we're about to crash. Oh no, quick, give me a second to adjust my aviators a few times, then I'll get us out of the way.
Yes, props as a personality. One of my favorite NPC tactics. Anyway.
Yeah, so I think we unload all of the stuff in the ship and put it.
Yep.
Catan, you're one of the fitter gals, and MacDougal, I'm gonna make you do this too. Give me endurance rolls, please, as you two help unload.
Slim gets the feeling as if though this is the role his entire character is based around. For his first dice toss the night,
Alright.
he just considers it one more chore to get taken care of before the day is done.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping they would get
Wow.
no successes on that, but adequate.
You both did really well, exactly well enough, and no better, which kind of is the part I'm surprised about. Anyway, you all help unload. Mr. Wesley Wellesley comes in and helps out. Mark's there too, gives you a nod and says, "How about that weather?"
Oh, hi, Mark.
Goodbye.
Amazing. Mark takes a sip of his water bottle as he leans in and says, "Howdy there. I'm sure you've heard as well as I that we're going to have a storm later on."
Yeah. There's a lot of work to do between now and then. So
That there is.
Are you actually gonna do something this time besides stand there with your gun looking pretty?
Hey, well, all right. I mean, looking pretty's half the job, you know. He says,
You should probably get better at it then.
shiny teeth.
Oh!
Damn. All right. So what's your tone here? Jocular, or are you actually being
No,
sarcastic?
I'm definitely being sarcastic and like not saying it as cruelly as I could, but also it's something I kind of believe is that he's useless.
Mhm. He says, "Oh, you. You know, uh, when I was growing up, they used to call me Pearly Whites, like the gates of heaven. You know why that is?" He gives you a great beaming smile, and he says, "Haven't chipped a single one.
Such a
Weird thing to brag
feat.
about.
Not in all
That-
this, not in all this time doing this work." He says as he hauls like a big old crate onto his shoulders.
Well, that
Industry
yeah,
Curiosity's
yeah,
like, I am perplexed. How would you break your teeth by hauling crates?
yeah.
You know, well, I certainly could, if I were to pull him up the wrong way, I suppose. You know, in second thought, it doesn't seem like all that smart a thing to say, but what am I if not pretty and good at doing work?
At this moment, Enigmar comes by rolling a giant barrel. Branded on the side of the barrel is like Enigmar's secret hooch, but it's crossed out with like a marker, and then beneath that is written engine lubricant. And I just roll that on the ship. I'm like, don't mind me, just loading up the engine lubricant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta luber up.
Mr. Wellesley kind of gives you a look like, she's probably fully fueled. But he
No,
doesn't say
this isn't
anything.
fuel, this is engine lubricant. Never hurts to have too much.
Yeah, it never hurts to have too much lube. That's true.
That's what they say. Hey, Mark, if you're not busy, actually, no, hold on. He goes over to Industry Curiosity and says, I just got a ping on my slate, and you actually just realized that you are also getting a ping on your slate.
I mean, I wait for him to tell me what he's going to say, since I assume it'll be about the thing that my slate is paying for.
Yeah. Why? Sorry. He says, I got this notification. Bison number 3 is suffering some malfunction on their rear engine, and it's not going to be able to return before the storm. Think you might be able to look at that?
Yes.
Your
Enigmar's
slate
kind of a
says about the same
dipshit
thing.
and is suddenly worried overhearing this that, like, oh no, my fake engine lubricant ruse, which I definitely fell for, is gonna come back to bite me if this thing's low on lube.
Amazing. Yeah, so your slate also reports the same thing. Bison number 3 is lagging, and then Bison number 3 is suffering an engine malfunction. And
I accept the IT desk ticket.
and
I guess plan to go to wherever it is.
it does seem like it's probably not going to be a whole flight out, but the tractor is probably your best bet, as the koi disappears while the driver is getting it back into the air.
I say, well, I hope we do not need any engine lubricant for these repairs, as our source has now left us.
No, it
reckon we
left,
can-
and she. Oh, there she goes.
Reckon we can fiddle it in with just enough elbow grease.
Well, I mean, I'm always good to lend a hand.
We best get to it. We're slim on time.
Yeah. So, Mr. Wellesley has delivered that sermon. And to the south, you would find, of course, the tractor that you would need to get to that location. The two other IT people are nowhere to be seen.
Are hiding behind the building because they don't want to go out in advance of a dust storm.
Indeed. And you actually would see Wesley and the daughter of the Plain family on the other side of the town as well. Wesley looks over to see what's going on, whereas seemingly her partner is kind of waiting in attention for her to return her gaze.
I'm gonna wave them over.
Yeah, so having been waved, Morgana looks over to her partner, who is hiding behind, both of whom were hiding behind the storage shed, and the two of them head on over in the wake of the ship. And Morgana gives you a very friendly hello, and the Pain daughter kind of gives you a bemused look and says, "Hey."
Hey, how are y'all? Don't worry, I didn't tell Ma or the nothing. How are y'all doing? Think you might be down to help us out with some stuff?
Sure. Morgana blushes Plain blushes at the suggestion that you might have snitched on her, and Wesley kind of says, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Y'all are heading out to deal with that malfunction. I also got a notification just a bit ago. Remember when I was an understudy of Industries? Yeah, she put me on her same notification cycle for the IT stuff. When are y'all heading out?"
I come over and I'm like, "I do not believe this is wise. Their young brains have impaired judgment. We are heading into..." And I check the dust storm meter. It will arrive shortly.
I mean,
Yes,
I'm not much
does say
older
it's
than
about
them.
maybe 5 hours.
I do a right gaze of disapproval. Perhaps you were also too young to handle this responsibility in the wake of an advancing dust storm. And sweep them over as if looking for, weed or booze.
Indeed. So you know that the tractor needed a little bit of work before it was functioning, and Morgana says, "Oh, you're heading out soon then. Are you sure that thing can even run?" It definitely
I'll get
needs.
it up and going.
Consult my notes. Apparently, it has not been repaired. Another example of the poor efficiency of this commune.
The parts literally just got here. What are you talking about? They were literally just taken off of that ship.
Yes, the parts were supposed to be in the last shipment. Requested them several times from the greed, excitement, generosity.
Yeah, Geg, to her credit, is not there when you mention her name.
Well, let's get this box over there and I'll get to work. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, Slim, you and she are carrying the crates, and Enigmar and Industry Curiosity. I'm assuming you're preparing yourselves for the ride to some extent, unless you want to also take part in the unloading and fixing portion of this.
Yeah, I have a resilience of 3. I don't carry things.
Smart
supervise.
So,
I'd also like to grab my maintenance rig just in case the sandstorm or whatever starts up. I'd like to be able to, breathe without it getting into my lungs.
Mm-hmm.
So needy.
Yes, and as you do so, you can't help but pass Leslie Arnold, who kind of gives you a scoff as you walk by. She doesn't say anything, but she kind of watches you as you go into the house.
I literally scoff right back at her. Like,
Hey,
look at
who's-
her, make eye contact, and
Oh, that one.
She looks incredibly upset that you've scoffed at her having scoffed at you, and she kind of storms off. She was helping with the crate unloading, but she definitely didn't interact with you very much by intent.
So yeah, I just run inside, grab my stuff, and I'm like, no time to talk right now. We're in a rush. Sorry, I'm just grabbing this, and I'm getting out of here. Nice seeing y'all again. It'll be a few hours before I'm back.
Oh, you're fixing the tractor then?
Yeah, and then we actually have to head out and fix the electronic systems in something.
I saw that. Sorry.
Yeah. That's okay.
Like open task alerts are like our only form of news / entertainment. So everyone's just like, oh, I saw that Bison number 3 needs to be fixed. Like it's like a football game or something.
Enigmar has a max text he sends out once a week with just a bunch of random bullshit he thinks he's onto.
Oh God, Enigmar's fanzine, but just of him. He's a fan of himself. So like Enigmar's deep thoughts.
The problem is, if you're not signed up, I don't sell you my booze.
True. So Catania, it doesn't take all that long to gather your things. In the whole time that you're there, nothing particularly happens, and everybody kind of slowly moves towards the tractor. And things are laying down, etc., etc. I would say Morgana, for her part, whoops, did not mean to drag. Morgana, for her part, the IT gals are busy having an argument on the other side of this house. And Morgana would have also laid out some of the stuff and done a little bit of the prep work with Mr. McDougal, if he was so inclined.
All right. Yeah. So,
Mark's not there, though.
I'm just gonna walk up after having gotten my suit on, and I'm just gonna get right to work because why not?
Morgana says, "Oh, hey, I laid some of the stuff out for you, and I wasn't sure where you wanted that." And she kind of points at a converter, and she's like, "It's a bit heavy, but if you need a hand."
I appreciate that. Sure. Just help me out when I'm ready for it. I'm gonna just dive right in, and we'll grab that in just a second.
And Wangyatha comes over and kind of says, "Hey, how's it going?"
No, not too bad. Just need to work.
Alrighty, well, I'll be over here. And she goes and finds Enigma and Industry and Curiosity. While Slim, you, Catan, and Morgana get to work on the engine. Give me a mechanics roll, please.
All right. So, question.
Mm-hmm.
This is fixing or breaking machinery, yes?
It absolutely is.
All right, so I have 12 dice to roll if I'm not also including my electronics analyzer, which would make it 13.
I would say somewhere during this you probably have to use your electronics analyzer, presumably to, reinstall some of this stuff.
All right, cool.
Like, you are doing a lot of overhauls, and you're probably keeping from doing some of the maintenance that probably needs to be done eventually, but doesn't have to be done right now. But, it's a very large vessel, and a lot of it was overdue for repair. So, give me that mechanics, both of you. I'm assuming Slim can do some mechanics as well. I could be wrong.
Well,
Wow.
thankfully my hands count as a multi-tool. And are you giving yourself the modifier of 1 for the multi-tool that you have?
I actually don't have a multi.
No, I bought two, so I literally come and I put one in your hand. And
Well,
I'm like,
also,
Oh,
more
okay,
importantly,
cool.
this is a place you can click one edge if you want to reroll, so you become slightly stressed out, but you could do that to reroll if you wanted.
Totally going to do
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna re-roll that. I'll
All right,
click
go
an
ahead and do
edge. All right, so let's say +4 to the roll then.
Wait, sorry, +4?
Yeah,
Oh,
2
sorry,
for
yeah.
my mechanic ability, 1 for my electronics analyzer, and 1 for the multi-tool, I assume.
Yep. Okie doke. Go for it. Sorry, I just wasn't calculating.
There
it in
we
my head.
go.
Perfect. Okay. So with the shared grouping of successes, I'm going to say that both of you can use your stunts however you'd like. You could do it faster. You could, gain a bonus towards doing this again in the future. Couple other
Faster.
options. Okie dokie. Yeah. You get it running smoothly in a matter of, you do it in under an hour. And frankly, it's darned impressive. Morgana says so herself as she says, "Oh, wow. Gosh. Y'all are really, really good at this. I remember when I was an understudy of, who was it?" And she named somebody else on the
I'm like,
Commune
wait,
as a mechanic.
excuse me. We have gained time due to this efficiency. Let us not waste it through your meaningless parasociality.
I'm sorry. Oh, wow. I really wish I could
That-
see the inside of one of the spaceships and fix it up like that.
Oh, me too. That would
You
be so
have-
amazing.
you
I want to
have-
be on one of them
you
so
have a
bad.
chance.
Oh, I
when
do
we're
too.
done.
I want to get off this world so bad. It'd be so cool to. And as you all slide in, Wangyatha probably talked to you about her, ambitions to, start up another home on the commune somewhere and settle down in another part of Ichthus. And she's
Wait,
so
she doesn't want to
excited.
go to space?
No,
Just
she
somewhere
wants
else on
to-
Ichthus?
Yeah, she wants to move out to somewhere else on Ichthus, and she wants to probably head to the city, the Trinity Center.
Small city kid who thinks
but
moving to
eventually-
the closest city is like the best thing ever.
Yeah, but eventually she wants to settle back down after moving to the city and being in a hub of society and for a bit, and then she wants to settle down and start a new commune town or some sort of family in a larger commune, in an establishing commune town. So she has this whole plan that she's excited about. She's like, "Yeah, I've been talked down by Morgana into. I've been trying to talk to Morgana about moving to the city. She's so excited to get basically out of here. Anyway, I'm really hoping that works out. But yeah, have a good safe trip and get Morgana back safe. I'm gonna stay here and help prepare the Payne family house for or the Plain family house for the storm that's coming." And
Yeah.
she's not gonna go with you, but Morgana seems intent on joining you all on this adventure.
Okay, well, I'll catch you later then. See you back home later.
Is Enigmar coming with?
Yeah, I'll see you. Hey, Hooch guy.
Hello.
Nah, so I lean out the back and say, Enigmar, we're taking off. You coming with?
I look around. I think, well, it probably won't be a good opportunity to do more white liquid investigation. So I guess.
You say that out loud?
No, that's in my head.
Yeah, it's the
Clearly,
internal
there's a
dialogue.
conspiracy going on here. I can't just tell anyone.
There's a monologue that plays as you slowly make your way to the tractor. The weird angle of the camera really conveys the depth of emotion that you're experiencing as you think through this monologue about the conspiracy afoot.
So clearly, the Mirai are doing something unethical to get this white liquid. Or else
The
they wouldn't be
motor
putting
starts
so
to
much
hum.
work into hiding it.
You're staring
So-
at yourself as the ship begins to move in the reflection of the metal sheen of this tractor. You know there's a window not that far off. Could be a prop in the next scene, but at the moment you're looking at your reflection.
Yes, indeed. I have my suspicions as to what the liquid is, but that only raises more questions about its procurement.
Tell me, what's your dream ship to actually be on and work on?
Oh, well, I really have thought about fixing up that koi, or I've really been trying to convince the pilot to let me on as a, occasional mechanic to fix up that koi if it ever needs any tuning to. But, she's a little weird. She keeps putting up her aviators and saying, maybe next time, or something like that, pretty much every time I ask.
Honestly, it's been the same for me. I've also been doing that, and that's just what she seems to do. I think she's just brushing us off without being so forward about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that kind of would make sense. She's always been like that. I don't very much get the opinion that she likes us here. She does.
I mean, to
serve some other
her,
cons too.
we're probably just a bunch of country bumpkins, and she doesn't really have to pay attention to us.
Yeah, probably something like that. It's a pity about. I'd really love to get off this planet.
Me too. We should
Have
go
you applied
halvesies
to
on a ship.
Mother?
Sorry, industry. I'm assuming you're the pilot here.
Yeah.
And you probably would.
Is
would
your
be able to
piloting
draw
better
us.
than a 5?
Yes.
So yeah, what do you say?
I was like, have you applied to Mother? Just like finding another
Oh, yeah, I wasn't gonna ask you to roll until it came up, but damn good roll. You're driving pretty fast, actually. I would say you're gonna get there sooner. If that's amenable to you.
We are racing a dust storm.
We're chewing dirt here.
Yes.
My piloting is a 2.
So she says, I've considered applying. I considered it. She doesn't seem to get into that further.
I don't know, for me, it's like, I actually just want to be out there on the frontier of stars, just blazing a path through and not settling down in one place. I want to wander. I want to roam. You know?
Industry curiosity again, unemotionally. There are many positions open for couriers due to the dangers of the frontier. You could easily apply.
I wanna, I do, but well, things have gotten pretty serious with me and Wangif. She's thinking about moving to the city together, and maybe starting a family or something out here on the frontier. The planet specifically, this one,
How do you feel about that, though?
Well, I've told her a couple times. I'm not really there's a bump in the road. The corn, fields seem to flow in the dust as you begin to see a cloud billowing in the horizon through your windows. I've talked to her about it, and she's super keen on it, and I'm just I do love her, but I don't know that I'm ready to settle down like that. It's pretty big what she's proposing. I'm not really sure.
That does sound really scary, honestly. I'm nowhere near ready to commit to being on one planet forever. That's terrifying to me because there's so much to see and so much to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. She's thought about when she's older, maybe taking a tour or something. And I'm not sure about like if a tour is going to be enough. You know, like this is my whole life, and if I stay here, I don't want the stars to just be a tour. I kind of want to see them.
Maybe one day you'll be able to change the stars.
Hey, it's okay. I like put my arm
Yeah, she
around her
starts,
and pull her in a
crying in
little
front of her.
close, and I'm like, it's okay. We can change the stars together.
Yeah. You know, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I
It
just need
won't.
to.
Hey, don't belittle your emotions. They are real, and you deserve to feel them in their fullness. You need to talk to her about how you actually feel about this, because otherwise it'll just cause both of you more pain in the long run.
Yeah. You're totally right. I should. I don't want to live in the city and move out to the country. I need to tell her that, I want to at least try applying, going to space.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try it.
You should. You should do what you need to do to find your happiness.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I hope you get your happiness too. I mean, we both want the same thing, right?
Yeah,
We want to get
for
off this
sure.
planet and see the stars. So tell me about your dreams. Why do you want to go to the stars?
I mean, honestly, it's
I wanna
just
see.
so big and so wide, and it just feels like there's so much of it that we haven't even cracked into yet. We haven't even seen a fraction of it, and I just want to see the universe. Like, oh. Plus, like, I'm not gonna lie, working on the engines of all of those super fast ships
Right.
and
Oh,
having a
God.
baby of my own to just like take care of and love and just like
Yeah.
hold, like, it will be mine. I'll sleep in the engine room.
Sounds awesome. I want that too. Ugh. Yeah, I definitely have to talk to Juan Guza. I definitely have to at least see if she'll try it with me because it's beautiful. It's beautiful out there, and
Industry
very
Curiosities like
you know.
traveled around extensively through space and adventure, and just like, wow, these people are in for a real surprise when they get to actual space.
I just I don't want to let it. I don't want to let the opportunity pass me by. And presumably the conversation goes on for a lot longer, and gets into a lot more depth, and you both get a chance to gush about your aspirations for the sky and for the future and so on and so forth. But eventually you do get there. And in the meantime, there is chance for one last monologue as staring out the window at the oncoming dust storm, our sleuth of the century continues pondering something, probably a little tangential to the detective work that he's doing.
Actually, doesn't he also want to leave the planet?
Oh, he's actually not at the screen. Bugger.
I think he's just like really far back.
Their head is right there. I see it. It's down in the corner.
Max.
What's up?
Oh darn! I just, I should have looked at the camera, but I tried to cue you in for another epic monologue on a tangent of.
Oh yeah, I got something. Ready for this? As I gaze out over the
Goes up.
fields of wheat-ish product,
Yes.
wheat-adjacent crop, I can't help but wonder, what do the waves that the wind blows represent, if not the waves that are being cast by the great mystery that hangs like a shadow above this town? Yes, that is of course the mystery of what and why is the mysterious white liquid. If it is indeed what I think it is, as I mentioned earlier, it raises a great number of questions about their procurement. But it also raises questions about why do they need that? Is it a replacement for something else? If so, how is this the easier option? There's a lot of questions raised. I think it's just they get off on it. That's my only answer. That's why I think that seems to be the most reasonable thing. They seem so like detached otherwise, but I think this is how they get that way. They know every time they see a human, they don't be angry about it. They're like, we know we're getting one better on you.
Yeah, so as we're getting close, like we're about to pull up, I turned to you and I'm like, do you ever think about the experience of the rumored human empire remnants in Rast space and how they feel in captivity?
You know what? I've been thinking a lot about that recently. Funny you should mention it.
Amazing.
I imagine you have great fellow feeling for them as a human.
I mean, I spent some time on Skibidop. Ain't no one gonna be complaining about that lifestyle.
Indeed.
Flashback to him on Skibidop, just like getting drunk
mission.
and losing a ton of money.
So you roll up on what is perhaps one of the only landmarks this side of the your farm area and your designated farming area. Sorry, and you come across the relic, the fallen structure from above. It's a bit of gnarled metal and practically the ribs of a dead and long gone creature emerging from the earth that you farm. And this particular relic, this particular rib in the structure of a massive relic, is the closest location to where your bison is. It's not that far off, but it is, a little walk from here. And it's kind of, perhaps a funny coincidence that it was so close to this landmark that you would otherwise have been able to pass by. But you know that inside that small shack lives a bit of a hermit to the town. Somebody who largely just stays in its abode and collects things and ponders stuff. But there's an ageless synth that seems to have taken up residence in this particular region, and abodes within this shack. But frankly, it's not necessarily somebody that you have to interact with. It is simply there. But sorry, trying to find the image of the tractor so that I can put it on the map.
You also can't see anything, or I
Oh.
can't.
Interesting. Well, I should fix that too.
I'm gonna need to jostle it because like the settings and everything are right. It's just that glitch happening. I will set the map one wider.
Ooh,
That
there we
fixed it.
go.
Yeah, alright. I'll set it back to what it should be. Oh, roll 20. Sometimes you just gotta give it a kick in the can.
I'm a glitch.
You're a glitch. I'm a glitch. We're a glitch. Are we dismounting here?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, we have to
so
go
you're
walk to our
presumably,
destination.
yeah. There's a little
I
bit
see
of
this. There's-
futsy stuff around it that would have made going over the tractor with the tractor possible, but not necessary, and certainly not worth the risk. As you are, of course, in the shadow of a massive rib of a long crashed spaceship, and
Edingmar's thinking about ribs.
before you lies the vessel, or sorry, before you lies the drone. It seems to have been in. I'm sorry, everything's so jammed close on this map. I kind of envisioned this happening a little bit further down, not quite as close to the shack. Sorry, this is the only map that I saw that had the correct dimensions. Although now I realize there is another map I could have used. Anyway,
I'm adding space. I'm adding space.
thank you. Excellent. Yeah, it's a little bit further field, in the field rather.
Oh wow, here I am, out further in the field.
Yeah, there's some stuff that it seems to have gotten itself caught in, and the metal debris seems to have gradually cut a hole in into the a few of the pipes that it has. It seems to have cycled through here once or twice already during its movement today, and during that time it seems to have cut itself on the same piece of jagged metal until eventually there was a malfunction formed from the damage that it received. So, sorry, it is in a slight state of disrepair as a result, and definitely does need fixing. And you can see the storm fast approaching on the horizon. It does look like it might be arriving a little sooner than expected. So the fact that you've been quick about this does mean that you have about as much time as you need.
All right. I pull up my slate and see if it says anything about what's actually wrong with the thing besides the hole.
What was the pipe carrying?
Sorry?
What was the pipe that has a hole in it carrying?
It seems to have been carrying lubricant, engine lubricant.
God damn it! Fucking Enigmar, like, phases backward into the, like, it's just, tried to hide behind a tire or something of the car we came on.
Well, I mean, as you are sneaking about, the group does notice that the lack of engine lubricant in that pipe that was damaged has indeed amazing. You're well hidden in the inner workings of your tractor that has just been repaired. Morgana says, do they need anything outside? And you say,
yeah, it's totally fine. They got it handled.
She says, all right, I'll just go back to sitting here then.
Yeah, I just got a little bit of hay fever.
Yep. Well, I won't stop you from standing behind the pipes then. And she doesn't stop you from standing behind the pipes, as you notice that the engine has kind of overheated and had a bit of an explosion as a result of that. But of course, that smoke has long since faded, and you're left with a very malfunctioning drum.
Wow. The engine has exploded due to lack of lubricant. I don't think there's actually a fix for this without ordering a whole more slew of new parts, because that's the way it works. If you run an engine dry, that engine is dead forever.
Like, what caused this malfunction, do you think?
Well, it looks like the piping that holds the lubricant is actually torn open there. Like, it looks like it probably... Honestly, it looks kind of like somebody took a pickaxe to it.
Can I investigate the pipe?
It does. Yeah, feel free.
I would like to take a casual look around the field.
Investigator is my talent, because, I don't know, I thought it would be funny.
Amazing.
To, like, catch teenagers making out or something.
Can I, like,
this is actually kind of amusingly appropriate. So yeah, you all kind of look at it to see what might have been the issue here, and it does in fact look like it's been worn down by the same piece of metal, and you definitely find evidence supporting both in your logs and in the worn downness of this sharp piece of metal itself, that it looks like this rather springy piece of rusted metal did indeed cause the issue that the machine was facing. the exposed underside of the engine having been particularly, the underside of the pipes. The engine, of course, is not really exposed, but this particular pipe being exposed underneath the tractor, as it pushes this piece of metal down, it seems that it springs back up and is able to therefore hit the pipe. It's rather amusing that such a coincidence would have been elicited, but it has unamusingly caused an immense amount of damage to this drone.
Well,
But
I
doesn't
don't
seem
know.
like foul play.
Does not appear to be foul play.
I don't know how amusing it is for them to design it this poorly.
This is an old
Whoever-
human empire mission.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. No offense, Slim and what's the other name? Shoot,
Where the hell is Enigmar anyway?
Enigma. Yeah.
Loaded in now and tuned in. Captain, carry on. You're loaded in.
You can't
and tuned.
fucking find me.
Expect
I'm
you
hidden.
to
I'm
end.
gone.
I look around the field when people are like, "Hey, it might be sabotage." Do I see anything?
Yeah. So after the investigation didn't reveal particularly much, you definitely would know that the shack, run by or not run by, sorry, the shack in which a very contemplative synth lives, is over by the spire of damaged machinery.
I turn to the group and I say, "I reckon the hermit saw what went wrong."
I look at you confused and I'm like, he saw the mechanical failure? I'm unclear as to why it would matter.
Fleming shrugs and says, "There's slim nods that it didn't cause itself."
So
anyway,
I want to go visit a hermit in advance of the rapidly onsetting dust storm in case he saw that there was foul play in the mechanical error of this tractor. Well, this drone.
Well, at the
industry,
very-
why don't you rule me a systems check real quick to see what can be done about the system, I'll get to exactly why
Oh,
you're
my
rolling
roll
systems.
20 just crashed.
Oh no.
Ooh.
I also roll because I'm
Yes.
decent at systems.
Absolutely.
Not as well. Actually, with my tools, I have a +2 to my systems as well. So
Okay.
Wait,
Yep.
what do you have? So most of those don't stack since you have to use it for one thing or another. Like the one tool does just electric things and one tool does digital systems.
electronics analyzer works for systems and mechanics, and then I also have a rugged
Yeah, that's what I mean. There are two
digital
types
tool.
of things, but
A
they
rugged
do like slightly
sorry?
different things, so they normally don't stack.
Okay, well then I still have the rugged digital tool.
Okay, and what does that do as well?
+1 to systems, so I'll just put +1 in there.
All right, yep, no worries. So go for it. Oh wow! All right, you both get the same amount of successes, and with that, you both would note that yes, the engine is indeed broken and probably irreparably, but that conveniently enough, the parts that you have not yet installed for the diode might, or not the diode, what am I saying? The tractor that you came in might actually be compatible due to the fact that they're both made from the same Human Empire company way back when, and they more or less just keep dredging them out.
And
the,
Polygon, thank you for the
That's just
raid.
mechanics?
Thank you for the raid. Normally I would say Dreamers, but one night only, thanks to Max. Creamers, thank you for joining us. And
Oh
for the
no,
raid.
what have I done?
Madeline, what were you saying?
Wouldn't that be? Why wasn't that a mechanics check? Like, What to do there with
It's
those systems?
largely to figure out. So
Max's
the system
nameplate
check-
is occasionally saying that he's the Dreamweaver Lee. Are you kidding me?
so weird. The mechanics check was.
Dougler
sorry,
with a
the
rate of 1. Hello. Dougler, your name is very familiar.
Hello. The systems check was to figure out what needed to be repaired. I mean, I probably could have asked for a mechanics instead. I don't know. It felt right at the time to call for systems. Anyway, you're both successful. So you both determine that analytically, you look through your data banks and see that the model type that this tractor uses is compatible with the drone that is also in need of an engine repair. This one, far less urgent than the drones. Or rather, actually, hold on. Canonically, you have replaced the engine. I'm sorry, I'm messing up my own canon. You have replaced the engine, but you still have the remaining parts from the semi-functional engine of the tractor, and that's what you're feeling is going to be capable of being used here.
Every vehicle in this town have a broken engine right now. Like nothing else can be wrong with them.
You know, I perhaps should have thought that through, but it is a pleasant coincidence in this instance.
Well,
now I'm going to
alright.
need some mechanics checks.
If we got all the parts in the back, I can try to rig this up and get it working.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Slimmin, you
Hey.
want to help out with this?
I suppose it'll be quite a bit. And I assist you with the modifier of 3 for my mechanics as I help.
Okay,
A
well, maybe
modifier
then I will
of
go
3?
talk to the hermit and see if there's something up. And I'm like, Enigmar, come. We
We
will check out Slimmon's lead.
I like how like we cut straight from like incredulous response. You're proposing that we do this course of action? Hard cut, like to a different scene. Hard cut back to industry curiosity, taking that exact course of action. Damn, Clinton said something really convincing off screen. We don't know what it was.
roll me a scrutiny +3 to find Enigmar within the ship. The +3 is granted due to familiarity with the interior of the ship. Sorry.
Oh,
I really
also
hope you
get a
fail this. This will be
+3
the
to
best thing ever.
investigate
I
stuff.
just
Ah,
have
well then
question.
take a +6.
Okay.
Yeah, no, fantastic.
It's a small
You
ship, I
successfully
think I can-
negotiate the finding of Enigmar, who perhaps is a little
And I'm like, Enigma,
sorry
are
about
you
that.
experiencing anxiety or another side of mental distress? Shall I call an emergency therapist?
No,
On
just
my
rest in my
slaves.
calves. You know
I
how
have-
it is.
Question. You said
Yes.
a plus. The help action is going to give me a +3. That's 3 additional dice, correct?
yes.
So I have a
Affirmative.
total of 7 additional dice in addition to my mechanics skill.
That would be correct.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure of that. Wow.
Duh.
And only
you can
one
also
success.
re-roll that by
I'm
taking the stress
going to.
and dropping one of those bonuses, so it's a +6 now.
All right.
Enigmar, yes?
Better.
Okay, I'll handle that in a sec. You two are heading over to the shack, though. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know exactly. I think this is the shack.
Yes, it's
Okay.
the shack.
Wait, it's just-
Doesn't take all that much to get to it. It's maybe a few meters out from where you are. And inside, you see a rather
This
plain-faced
fucker.
man, kind of sitting and staring at the wall.
Hello, I am Industry Curiosity Efficiency Consultant. Did you see what happened with the Bison 3 outside?
You hear a whirring and a cracking as his neck seems to come back online, and he turns over to you and his eyes blink for a second, and the stare is far less vacant. Perhaps his pupils manually dilate, or something to that effect. It is quite clear that he is now paying attention, as opposed to previously, when he might have been not doing so. And he looks at you and he says, it's been a while since I've seen much of anything, I must confess. I have been in meditation for about a month now. So wonderful to see things again. The world is anew once more. How might I assist you?
Well, as our query pertained to something that happened during this week, I am not sure that you can, but thank you for your cooperation.
So unfortunate that I couldn't assist. Should you like, I can remain conscious for a bit. However, I was deep in contemplation. I would like to return to such, should you give me the opportunity. However, I will remain aware so long as you wish.
Hey, industry curiosity. I feel like not gonna get anything here. You go see if they need any more efficiency help down at the tractor. I'll wrap up the conversation.
Yes, this seems like an efficient use of our temporal resources.
So
Yes.
after industry curiosity, kind of like, so you've been around a while, been a few places.
I have indeed.
You wouldn't happen to know much about the Prarie, would you?
To the contrary, I was once tasked with knowing quite a deal about them in the later stages of the war.
Ah.
Oh god,
So,
this is like a
they
fucking
have this,
Fenrir Core Labs and who worked on the Prarie genocidal agent, the Cloud Killer.
I saw Pat's fucking face. Oh my god. Yeah, so anyway, I asked, like, so you know that, like, that white
My fault.
protein stuff they eat, what is it?
You have to be more specific. At the time I studied that, white protein paste was not something that I was familiar with them consuming. I was under the impression that they largely derived their nutrients from their hive society in some fashion, either through their farming mechanisms, of which I am intimately aware, or through their cultivated species, of which I am also quite aware, or through the provisions of the queen herself, or her handmaidens, of which I am quite aware.
What sort of animals, what sort of cultivations do they have going on in them hives?
It would proceed to list, a number of the, you would probably know, having attended school in the Trinity, presumably, it lists the things that Prarie actually, eat and derive nutrients from, so on and so forth. And then it says, and then of course, the nutrients and pheromonal provisions of the queen herself, or her handmaidens.
Did you ever get a look at any of that stuff?
The provisions proffered by the handmaidens, or the queen
Yes.
herself? Why, yes, I have actually done quite a bit of research on the subject.
What does it look like?
Typically, it is a substance produced by the queen herself.
Like, what color is the liquid? Is it liquid?
Largely, compounds do not have significant color. If you were to ascribe one to it, a clear, opaque substance might be what you're describing, or perhaps white, chalky substance. It entirely depends on how you isolate it. But I would say approximately a clear or white liquid.
Does this happen to be high in potassium or taste salty?
Oh, why, yes. The potassium levels would result in a salty taste if you were to discuss human taste buds with regards to how they sense chemicals.
All right. No further questions. Thank you for your time. Go back to your meditating.
Yes, of course. I was contemplating the
salty.
nature of existence. I have
Salty
So,
fish
yeah,
indeed.
Brazil-
I solved the mystery. It's not a stable of humans descended from the human empire kept in Mariah hives being milked for their cum. It's just some bug shit.
They never said it wasn't derived from the bugs cum.
I mean, I don't care.
Also, out of character, real quick. It was established that it didn't recall any white liquids being regularly consumed by the Marai at the time that it was studying them. It was a student pre-war.
Wait. I figured it out. I put the pieces
Also, back at the engine, there is a revving of motors with a clink, clink, clunk, as you remember that you've I'm sorry about my cannon flub earlier, but you've reinstalled engines that were getting to the end of their functionality into this drone, predominantly so that you can get it back to town where it can be siloed until such a time as the dust storm passes over. And with a gushing of smoke from the engine as it burns through a few of the chemicals that had sat on it for too long. It rears to life, perhaps for one last time. And I'm assuming you do that in record time, or do you also want a bonus for future engine repairs? Because apparently that comes up quite frequently.
I think I'll take the bonus towards future engine repairs.
Okay. All right. And having dealt with that matter, the drone seems to be in working order, and it kind of sputters as it swivels back into its rotation on the field. But that's not what you want from it. Industry curiosity. It seems that this drone needs to be issued a command.
I see it is time for us to return. Excellent work.
Indeed. And after overriding its primary functions, which it seems to have gotten set on mandatory override as opposed to the issue ordered by your primary systems, it begins to lurch and tick a few times before it starts moving back towards the town. And so it's successfully been done. Your task out this far has been accomplished, and you know that the town is rapidly trying to prepare for the oncoming storm, which, as you can see it now, is probably about less than an hour out, and it's maybe 20-30 minutes back to the farm. So
well,
we're gonna
it
get
seems
there in
we will
time.
have ample time to return with, I'm sure, no ill incident.
No, yeah.
Good job,
Synth-
everybody. All of you were amazing on this job, especially you, Industry Curiosity. You always do the best.
Looks like we're time to head out.
The synth waves cheerfully at Enigmar before returning to its place where it leans down onto a knee and looks up at the wall, and you see a vacant expression returning to its face.
Oh, I hope it has a good eternity.
So the dust storm's fast approaching, but the wind is picking up, and you note that little wisps of dust are coming up upon the vessel and crashing against the windshield as the terrain becomes a little bit more perilous to traverse. I will now ask for an operations roll, but I will give you a +2 because you're doing this before the. Oh God! All right, you drive fast. I'm sorry, I'm a little slower than you are. Clearly, you drive like I do in a place where the cops seem to be. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And you get there far quicker than might have been advised by Trinity regulations, and all the while Morgana's looking at her phone, her slate, and but she doesn't say very much as the wind whips against the metal and the blasts of dust and debris are dissipated in the wind, and you find yourselves rather swiftly and occasionally bumpily and perhaps perilously thrown back into your hometown, where I will pause at you.
Oh, wow, I really thought something was going to come up there.
Yeah. You you find yourselves.
Say that we took care of the drone. We're back in town. What could go wrong?
Well, the synth was rather alarming in me, and
Nah, he was a cool guy. Had a bit of a conversation. Real interest in life.
yes, I'm sure a human empire made synth had an interesting life.
That's exactly what I said. I'm glad we're in agreement. I mean, it seemed a little bit redundant for you to repeat it back to me, but hey.
Well, you get exactly where you need to be in town, and you find yourselves in the center of it all as everybody is hurriedly rushing about to prepare for the storm. Mr. Wesley, who's a bit of a town organizer, comes out into the center and says, "Oh, good, you've made it. I see the drone on the horizon. It shouldn't be all that long before it gets in with the rest. The silos should be able to take care of themselves, although industry, you might want to take a look at that programming just one more time to make sure that the silo door closes properly on those drones. It wasn't working last time. And Morgana, oh, good heavens. I'm so glad you're safe. And everybody else, I'm sure you have plenty of work to do. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. All right, let's get to. And he kind of scurries off with Morgana. And industry, you do recall that last time the silos were required for these drones, which otherwise tend to fare pretty well on their own. It had a little bit of a lilt to it as it was getting to. You're not sure if it's a mechanical issue or a systems issue, though you do think, based on the way that it responded last time, it might be worth taking a gander at the programming to make sure that all the T's were lined and the I's dotted.
Okay, I look at Catan and I'm like, the issue may be mechanical in nature. It has proven difficult to parse. Do you accompany me?
Yes.
So the two of you, I'm gonna say that this is the for time's sake and for using the rest of the map, that is a terminal where you might access drones and affiliated housing.
I will be right back.
Yes, okay, no worries. And industry, you would note that the computer seems to be recently used. The keyboard is still warm, and but otherwise, it is entirely available to you.
All right, let's check out this issue.
So give me a systems check.
Enigmar uses his time wisely and goes to bed.
Okay,
you can
wow.
see it. I rolled a 3.
Yeah, sorry, my apologies. Yeah, wow, beautiful. You diagnosed the issue, and in record time, it doesn't take more than a minute to run through all the code and realize that one of the programs wasn't quite working properly, which was resulting in it having a very delayed start and a not quite delayed receiving unit on the other side of the door. So it was jamming up against itself quite awfully, but you've managed to fix it. And I would say you may take your pick of the stretches available.
I don't remember, but I'm curious about what was going on with the computer right before I got here. I'm curious. It's literally in my name, investigative sort with low respect for personal boundaries. So can I check out what was happening before I used the computer?
Yeah,
And yet you
absolutely.
punish the investigative instinct in Enigmar with false promises.
I mean, honing the investigative instincts of Enigmar.
You realize you're a gaslight girl boss. That's what you've become.
All right. I'm gonna say I would usually require another systems for this, but
I mean,
since you
I'm
were
happy
so
to roll
successful and there was absolutely no like negative consequence to the other one, I'm gonna drop that other success into this and say you get extra information if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
So you dig and you try to figure out who was in here last, and it looks like it was actually Morgana Wellesley.
Wait, but she was with us, so
Yes, she was.
that can't be right.
Exactly.
Someone using her access codes or login or whatever.
That's what you deduce. And when you log in as her and then check most recent searched things, it doesn't take much. You find that a emergency request was issued to the Koi to return to town for an emergency pickup. And a response was issued, and it was seen. The response was negative, inclement conditions, emergency can wait. There was no response after that from the so-called Morgana Wellesley.
I turn to Gatan and I say, Morgana Wellesley submitted an emergency Koi request to this computer, but she was with us the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, you were saying a lot of emotion words about her significant other. Do you think that this discontented might have used her access?
I mean, honestly, judging from what Morgana was actually saying, I don't see a reason why the normal child would do that. Because, like, why would they want to call the person who their girlfriend wants to ride away with back to town? I don't know who could have done this, but it definitely couldn't have been Morgana.
Did we just see, what's the name of the suspicious person whose art is right here?
Leslie Arnold's.
I believe Leslie Arnold's just exited this building. Perhaps she did it to sabotage, but I do not know why.
Feel free to roll me an investigate.
Scrutiny?
Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
I'm not good at that. I'm not gonna roll.
No, come on. No, I must know. There we go.
Okay.
Oh no, apparently it's scary.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. Actually, it is.
It was the
Oh,
synth.
super scary.
Leslie did not actually just walk out. Leslie seems to have been loitering behind the shed and popped out when you were there and is kind of loitering still. It seems like she's been eyeing you since you got back in town. And with that extra bit, um, you would note that there were two failed password attempts before successfully getting in as Morgana Wellesley, and it seems like it was on its third. Whoever it was did not actually know Morgana's password, but possibly guessed it due to emotional connection. I mean, her password was, after all, the name of a toy that she had with her when she was a kid, and you knew, or you didn't actually have to guess her password. You just kind of have admin access, but
Yeah,
you
but I know
recognize
enough
the
better
name.
to be like someone close to her guess the password.
Exactly. Somebody very close, somebody who knows, things about her childhood and stuff. And you're
I mean, that
pretty
would
sure
still
that
describe
Leslie
a ton
does
of
not.
people in town, but yeah, I assume it's her girlfriend.
Right. That's what your deduction leads you to. And based on the warmth, you come to realize with a shock, uh, she wasn't here all that long ago, and you don't know where she is now. And gonna say that you release a little bit of a signal that you might be shocked, and uh, Catan, you being brought into this conversation and also pretty emotionally attuned, you realize that there's been a shocking development, and you gain an edge yourself. Sorry, a bit contrived, I know, but anyway.
I'm up to 3.
How do you relay this information? Industry.
All right, so I say it was what is her name? Wazaya or something?
So her name's Wajanya.
Wajanya.
Exactly, yeah.
Was Wajanya, and Anderson is loitering right outside. After the emergency request, she was here shortly. I wonder where she is now.
I just have a really hard time believing it would be Wajanya. I kind of want to go talk to Miss Snooty outside and see, because if she's been there the whole time, which, let's face it, she was there before we even left, then she might know. I'm wholeheartedly saying that my character just doesn't want to believe that that's actually the case. But taking, yeah.
Yeah. You get outside, and Leslie's there, and
Just let us interrogate the way this.
And Leslie's there, and she says, "Ugh, what do you want? Always sneaking around. It's making me really suspicious."
Who's sneaking around?
Did you see where Jean was
see you.
recently?
I literally just walked up to you. How is that sneaking around?
Well, I mean, you probably noticed that I saw you. Anyway, why are you both coming up on me like this? What are you doing here? Why are you looking at me?
You were here earlier. Whom did you see enter next this building before us?
This building? I mean, before you got here. I mean, the plain gal down the way was just here a bit ago, but she ran off.
Did you see where she went?
I mean, she just ran off, kind of outwards, probably going to the Commons, and she would, the Commons are another family in town. that she occasionally goes and hangs out with. And the Commons live a little bit out towards the edge of town.
Like she went towards the edge of town with a dust storm under an hour out.
I mean, the Commons have their own thing going. Like, they're fine. I don't. Why are you
What
asking
did her
this?
emotional state appear to be?
I mean, she was. I don't know. I don't know how you. I don't know how she, makes emotions
Hey.
and stuff.
Hey, what's going on with you? Why are you being so edgy?
Why are you
Everyone
coming
has
at me like
those phases.
Look, I have plenty of work to do. You're all harassing me. I'm just gonna go back to my house, okay? And I don't want either of you following me.
Why would we follow you? You're not making sense.
Because you always do. Ugh.
When have I followed you? Seriously.
I'm not gonna hear it. I'm not gonna hear it. And she definitely brings
you
up
want me
weird
to
shit
follow you. Sorry, I'm not gonna do
all the
that.
time. But no, she definitely doesn't get followed by you. She's literally just accusing you for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay, I look at Catan and I'm like, I am not particularly well versed in the emotion of non-Marai. How serious is this? Do she genuinely went to her friends, the Commons?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm thinking that it's possible that, well, shoot, I wonder if she was like, this is a shot in the dark here, but it's possible she was listening into us through the slates in the car. And
Roll
she
me
might.
a real quick scrutiny, if you don't mind.
I'll try.
I'm gonna give you a +3. This is a retroactive scrutiny.
All right.
Actually, I should probably maybe have called for an insight, frankly, if you want to do that instead.
It's the same either way.
All right, I'll take either then. Okay, that's actually pretty perfect. You think back on the ride home, and as you're saying, I don't think it kind of begins to dawn on you, and then it really hits you. Morgana was looking at her phone the whole ride back. She didn't say a word when previously she was extremely talkative. This lined up with a potentially emotional partner of hers. It kind of clicks that
It's
they
my
might have
fault.
broken up.
no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you get an edge for that.
Yeah, it's my fault. Oh no.
Well, it was somewhat inevitable, but yeah, it kind of dawns on you that she might be having a very emotional response to a tense phone conversation that possibly shouldn't have been a slate conversation.
I didn't think she would try to have the conversation over the phone.
I mean, yeah, we live in the same tiny town. Pretty cowardly.
Yeah, right? Oh, shit.
And as you have that revelation, you definitely hear some shouting in the Wellesley family, and the door opens, and the first thing you hear is, "Not while the storm's going on!" And Morgana pops out the front door. "Look, it's not safe!" And I'll allow you to jump in, but she definitely is getting lectured by her father about something.
Yeah, I'll jump in. Hey. It's okay. It's okay. What's
We didn't have a good conversation. She rushes over to you. We didn't have a good talk. I wanted to bring it up to her. It was very important. I don't know where she
Did you try to
is.
do it over the phone?
It was a conversation. It was just supposed to be a talk.
This is a heavy conversation. You do these in person.
I'm not great with that person thing.
We can discuss breakup
okay.
etiquette later. Where do
You
you
know.
think she would have gone? You know her well. Or, well, one might have assumed that previous to your unfortunate breakup, but...
At that point, Ma Payne comes out and you see the door open and you hear, Lasagna, where are you? Sorry, I'm
Ma.
Look
gonna
at her, there's like, last seen heading in that direction in great emotional distress.
Oh
Wow.
no.
What is in that direction?
Towards the north.
Say we ought to drive up there and see what's going on. There's
Yeah.
a slim chance she's in her right mind to do something fit right now.
Indeed, and
Mr.
you
Waz.
definitely see the dust picking up now on the horizon.
We're gonna...
The storm wall.
This is super important. We're gonna take the tractor. She'll be safe in the tractor, and we just need to handle this, okay? Bye.
Looks like it's time to mount up, yo.
Morgana, please stay here. They're gonna take care of this. Thank you,
No.
thank you so much.
Morgana's coming. I'm sorry. That's just happening.
Yeah, Morgana is definitely not taking stay here for an answer either, and she kind of, I don't know if you extend a hand, but she definitely pushes herself towards you, and says, "Dad, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna get back, okay. I can't let her go out into the storm like this, okay? We gotta get her back." And Mr. Wellesley kind of looks at you all, and he's like, "Okay."
I start
take care of
taking off my suit right there so she can put it on.
This is an emotional, tense moment between a father and daughter. Don't mind me.
She takes it, and
It's like a spacesuit, essentially.
Yeah.
It's
How
fine.
do you take off a
It's
spacesuit?
Oh, it's literally the scaffolding kind of that helps you stay on. Anyway, Mr. Wellesley allows you to go ahead and do it, and you all stumble into the tractor. I'm assuming each and every one of you is interested and engaged in this last portion of the game.
You coming, Slimmin?
Oh no, yeah, Slim's already in the truck. It's already.
Yep, let's go.
Yep.
I was like, we gotta go after him. Yeah, the whole thing.
And the real question is, the real enigma, I should say, is Enigmar.
Yeah, he went off for a
sleeping
nap
through
earlier.
this?
The problem is, I want to, but I can think of no legitimate reason why napping Enigma would have any idea what's going on.
You hear downstairs or from through the wall as Enigmar is in the room, Gag shouting, Wait, industry curiosity, wait! I've got one last cylinder for you! As she
Wait,
runs out,
the
she
mystery
hands you,
deepens.
God, I was
she hands
thinking
you,
that maybe
a
you could
cylinder.
be friends with Wei Zhanya. Maybe she's the one who gets you in town, but no, it's cylinders all the way down.
She hands you another cylinder, and she says, "For the road!" As she slams the door
Not
behind
seem
you.
necessary for a brief journey in which time is of the essence.
Well, she
I
does
slip
it
in.
anyway.
All right, I forgot. I have pastries.
Yes, you all
Pull out some crushed
There'll be
tarts.
time to question the cream filling when this is all done.
You all find yourselves thrown,
Oh.
for whatever reason, in the same tractor as Industry Curiosity is forced to fucking book it.
Well, Manda
Okay, first
actually
this'll be
make
like the
the
one time it
best
doesn't work.
cream.
Gotta reroll that.
Oh god.
Terrible.
An average success as you
Yeah.
are just not driving fast enough for everybody's liking. and everybody's staring at you expectantly as you get what a pilot might refer to as not great under pressure. Once again, I reference a conversation that only 3 of us know about, but I digress. You follow the speed limit basically. Your devil may care demeanor from earlier, a little bit crushed by the weight of the winds as you are noticing them picking up rather seriously. You drive down the corn rows, the wind bashing up against you, debris tickling the windows audibly, and everybody in the very tight quarters of the tractor goes up a little bit of edge as you are just driving a little too cautiously for them.
Mysteries
You
by
want
heating
to
up.
lose your edge.
Ah.
I have drop the item you can take to get rid of it.
I also have a lot of booze.
I'm
That
good.
works too,
I'm
it's
only up
mechanical
to
deficit.
halfway. I'm only up to halfway edge.
Actually, at this point, since we're about to go do a dangerous thing, this feels like an appropriate moment. Enigmar like reaches into his jacket and pulls out like a bottle of Enigmar's secret sauce.
I put my hand on your wrist and say, liquid courage is not appropriate in events of heavy machinery there, partner.
I look at that, I'm like, are you drinking engine lubricant?
What? Engine lubricant? I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
The flask does have something hastily removed from it, of course, but we digress. Now you find yourselves rushing down towards a portion of I'm assuming you go to the Commone's house first, and you might ask around. They say, no, we haven't seen her. You have a bearing. Gonna say figuring out where she went might be a systems. Identifying her silhouette on the horizon might be a scrutiny. And knowing where she might go could be an insight. I'll take any and all possibilities.
I'll roll a systems.
Okay.
Slim odds she's gone
good.
anywhere else, but
Holy shit. Oh, beautiful. All right. Let's have it. Oh, fuck yeah. All right. So, Catan, figuring out exactly what path she might take based on everybody's suggestions of where she went. You deduce that she probably went in a direct northeasterly trajectory, and you would probably also note that there's a tree out there, potentially one that she herself planted, given that it is the Plain family's circle in the district. And
That way, to the child tree.
indeed. Industry. You see on the horizon, having been pointed towards the child tree, both the tree and the person, very, very faintly. And Slim McDougal, you recall that this was indeed her childhood tree, and she has a great emotional import related to it, as that was also, you overheard, where she and Morgana once Morgana shared her first kiss.
it done gone dog gotta be that child tree where she and Morgana got it on first time. I tell.
Indeed. And you all fling yourselves in that direct trajectory, and as the storm picks up, you see her. And the wind is now whipping. and you're not that far from her. Though this tractor moves far too slowly for your liking as she approaches, her child tree, as it were. Lee, I don't know if you've got the wherewithal to place a tree token on this field, but
Oh,
Wherewithal.
you know Lee. I'm going the distance. I'm
figured,
going
right?
for speed. You're not all alone in your time of need. Bam! That looks like a childish tree if ever I've seen one.
okay. Well, that's certainly a token that exists.
I mean, it's
Does
basically
not look
impossible
like
to
a tree,
tell
but yeah.
from like the bushes.
All right. I've heard you. Bam.
All right, that's a little more distinctive.
Thanks.
Anyway, I probably should have just chosen one of the weird things on the map. Really. Anyway, so yeah, you find yourselves flinging towards her, and she is clinging to the trunk of the tree.
Get as close as you can to it.
Do you want another operate test, Pat?
I'm gonna say you can move yourself. Sorry. So you screech on onto a halt right out in front of. Sorry, you screech to a halt in front of the tree. The gravel is blasted into the wind, which is almost whipping as much as the projectiles that you've spewed into it. And as you pull yourself to a halt, you notice that Wajitra, I know I've changed your name throughout the night, horribly. Wajanya, I'm gonna say. From now on, I'm gonna base it off of that. Wajanya. Yeah, let's go with that. I deleted her original token somehow, accidentally, so I can't access her originally. Yeah, I know. Anyway, Wajanya is gripping the trunk of the tree and refusing to even look up at the trunk behind her.
Yes, Captain, carry on. This is the hunt for Lasagna October.
Okay, I look at Slim and I'm like, please carry her into the vehicle at this time.
Yep. And I step out and I'm like, come on now, Lasagna is a storm brewing.
She refuses to look up or do anything other than hug onto the tree.
I'm like, well, I'm gonna do this real gentle, but we gotta go. And I like proceed to bear hug her.
What do you say, Catan? All right, fine. Let's
But
get
I straight didn't hear what you said.
No worries. Catan, did you have any?
I was gonna say I'm gonna jump out of the car and try to convince her before she gets manhandled.
I'm a man, and I
Very Trinity of you.
All right.
Hey, the
go
Trinity
ahead,
contains a
Alpha.
multiplicity of approaches. My Mariah is just like, we can have a big emotional conversation, advance the rising storm, or just grab her and deal with that in the safety of town.
Well, industry
Alright, give me a
curiosity. Now that it
communication.
looks like they're going the diplomatic route, maybe you could get out there and be of a bit of help. Just leave me alone in here
I
with
look
any
at you and I'm like-
paraphernalia items you might have on or about you.
I am piloting this vessel. I need to remain in so that we may leave with expediency once the emotional one has been collected.
Lasagna, we need to go. It's too dangerous out here.
I don't care.
Endangering others is selfish! Industry curiosity shouts from inside the truck.
I don't care.
There are
Look.
great mysteries in this world.
We
All of
have
them.
we have Morgana in the car with us. Come with us and we can all talk this through. There's no point in throwing your life away.
What life? It's already been thrown away. All my dreams. I thought they were ours.
I
We're
grabbed
mine.
Morgana by like the cuff of her shirt and like just like shove her out the vehicle and be like, do a thing, say a thing, my fucking god.
I'm gonna say before you get the chance to do that though, Catan, do you want to roll a communicate?
Yeah, I'll roll a communicate. I'm not great at communicate, but I'm...
I'll give you a circumstantial +3 because
Really?
yeah, well, I mean, because of the conversation earlier, you emotionally bonded with Morgana. You might have input here. Oh, wow, it turns out that the +3 didn't particularly matter, but the edge dice got you there.
It all comes down to the edge in the end.
Right. So she says, I don't care. All my dreams were apparently all of the dreams that I thought were ours were apparently mine. And I'm gonna say that whatever you say next is pretty effective at getting to her.
Yeah. Okay. I think I say, your dreams were your dreams, but that's okay. Sometimes it just happens that way. That doesn't mean that she doesn't love you. She obviously loves you with all of her heart, and she was willing to put her own dreams on hold for the love that you share. That is beautiful, and you shouldn't hold it against her that she wanted to do right by you.
Also, this feels disproportionately serious due to your underdeveloped brain.
You don't know humans.
You're right. At the very least, I should
have a conversation in person, see eye to eye. Let the emotions out with each other.
She looks up at the oncoming storm, then she looks over to you, and her grip on the tree begins to loosen. And then as Morgana is shoved unceremoniously to the edge of the tractor, they share a very meaningful gaze. And Enigmar, you feel in your heart of hearts that, quote unquote, you helped. And
I helped.
They are very meaningful.
This is the first time
gaze.
in any tabletop one-shot I've ever been helpful.
That's tragically, unironically true. And no, I'm an asshole. And they share a meaningful gaze and move towards each other. And Catan and Slim, you both look at each other to some extent, I'm assuming, and perhaps a meaningful stare is experienced by the audience, and you all get into the tractor once more.
We
and
did it.
The storm is whipping at the windshields now. This is going to be a difficult ride home. There's no ifs, ands, or
Then
buts.
we all die as the tractor tips over.
One more drive. All right. Everybody in the car, except for Industry Curiosity, goes up an edge as she fucking books it.
Experience what it's like to drive with that.
As you all experience what it means to be in the car with me.
Now that's what I call tractor racing.
And you fly where once she was rather cautious. She's now thrown caution to the wind. But in the nick of time, you find yourselves back in town. And the audience is once more thrown into a map where Wajanya's original name is no longer an aspect. Yes, so you return just in the nick of time. The wind is blasting at each and every covered window. And it is now a mad dash to get to safety in the face of the wind. Everybody who's out on the map, we just assume isn't, so we're gonna toss them in places.
Yeah.
Rather quickly. Like Mark, for instance, is probably going to be in Industry Curiosity's room for whatever reason, and he's just gonna be there. The annoyed lesbians are gone. Well, they can't go off the map. They're back home. They stopped arguing.
Thought I was the annoying lesbian.
Oh, yes, sorry. There are many annoying lesbians. Don't worry. I wasn't excluding you. Ryan apparently helped in fixing things up. But let's get maneuvers from everybody in the group.
Yeah, let's
Maneuvers.
sprint home.
This is great.
I'm
I'm,
looking at dangers to going from Vincent Shadow Friend for those who need it with the storm coming.
Woo!
I reckon a few.
I think I'd die on the way.
That's actually hilarious.
Let's see how well does Enigmar do. It's an
I'm
Enigma.
gonna say everybody else goes up an edge as a result of that. Everybody's starting right now. So let's see what
I go up
Enigmar
2
is.
edge, right?
Yeah, you did. You also go up an edge. Enigmar, did you add that extra edge? Roll me
I
1d6.
did indeed.
Ah, okay, never mind. All right, I just wasn't rude to you earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Seems everybody has made theirs successfully. You are all extremely stressed out as you rush to your abodes. And those of you who got successes in this get the chance to assist others as they get to theirs. Catan, you rush back to the Payne residence, and Slim, you rush back to yours, but you notice that Morgana is stumbling a little bit at parts, and she trips. And you alone are close enough to assist.
I take
getting
her.
back.
I take her by the elbow, and I'm like, "Get on now."
She says, "Oh, thank you so much for all you've done today." And Enigmar, you experience a similar occasion with Wajanya, whose name I'm sure wasn't that at the beginning of the session, and I'm terribly sorry.
No, I think Bujanyo is right. You've come back around like full circle.
It's so funny. Anyway, Enigmar, you assist in getting her back to hers, and a lot of you find yourselves in your own safe abodes as the wind picks up against your houses, and you hear howling and vicious debris bashing up against walls. Ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk. And at times you worry if your safety measures will hold through the afternoon.
Lim
And,
is like cracks open a Pontiff's Red and drinks a beer on the couch.
Yes, and as the minutes of tension turn into hours of rhythmic thumping, what are all of our town residents doing? While
I would just
communications
like
are
to
down, we're
hang
all
on the
stuck in
phrase
our-
"hours of rhythmic thumping." Viewers, you know how to reach me.
And
That's
as Max says W for the night, creamers. You know how to reach him.
What
Max. Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, what would have happened if I reached all the way to 10 edge?
You could definitely edge break.
Yeah, it
That's-
forces you to edge break. You can do it, I think, at 5 for a human and 7 for everyone else, but you
Yep.
have to do it when you reach 10,
Yes.
which means
And
you
then
suffer a
collapse.
pretty high shock and get whatever your edge break says, if it's relevant.
So I would say Enigmar. You
Okay, so you know what? We're like, Enigmar. Well, while this white nutrient slurry is not precisely healthful for humans, it is consumable if you would like to taste it for yourself.
Oh no, I think I'm quite all right.
Really? You're no longer curious? I'm pleased that you've come to the end of your emotional journey about our, culturally distinct foodstuffs.
Yep, I have no thoughts anymore about the white goop stuff at all.
No thoughts.
And
hell.
that's
Roll
unrelated
me-
to why I do not want to drink it.
roll me a resolve.
I wonder how many dice Enigmar has for resolve.
Is
Oh,
it
whoa,
5?
5. That's crazy.
Despite the lies of this charlatan who would seek to deprive you of the experience of realizing truly what it is, the substance in these bottles. What she doesn't know, she can't possibly hold against you. You actually have managed to secure, while she wasn't looking, that small cylinder that was handed by a Geg to Industry Curiosity not long ago. She probably forgot about it. She certainly didn't care for it one way or another. She didn't want it really, which is why you've come in possession of it. And there are some places in this facility that are truly isolated, should you wish to resolve your curiosity.
I mean, I must. The quest for knowledge compels me. I have my suspicions, but I must know.
At some point during those hours of rhythmic thumping, you find yourself locked alone by yourself in the bathroom with a cylinder.
God, I've had Saturdays just like this.
And white liquid within to expose. You can't help but furtively remove your clothes and reveal that cylinder as you stare down at it, thinking about what must be in it, considering how best to derive at a climax.
Mark knocks
With
and is like,
regards
hey, how
to-
long are you going to be in there?
Particular enigma that you've come across. You stare down at that cylinder. You think thoughts that the audience might never know,
Oh, they know.
because it is at that point that the camera slowly fades away from you before you get a chance to deliver one last monologue and discover truly what was in all along, blue balling the audience for any further details as to the contents of that cylinder, that white liquid that they so desperately want to know, just like you, what it is. And Slim, up there alone in that, potentially singly occupied structure with Red probably never to be seen again upstairs. What's going on in your head? What are you thinking?
I'm
Of
thinking,
Storm Regis.
well, this is one cold beer as I crack into my second Pontus Red. And I decide, with the storm outside, nothing to do, I'll put on a classic. And I rewatch the 2555 remake of Battle for Ichthus Station. This time, it's personal.
As you do so, the opening monologue scrolls, and the attic door opens as Red drops down and sits next to you on the couch. She looks at you. She gives you a smirk. She looks at the TV, and she takes one of your beers that you've laid out alongside you, cracks it open. She looks at you. Do you blink?
I don't blink. I look at her and I give an appreciative nod and a furtive toast of my beer.
I think should clink, not blink, Lee.
Yeah, that is.
That was
Oh
a
wow!
toast motion.
Yeah, I clink. I clink beers.
She nods after having been clinked, your aluminum cans tapping against each other rather noiselessly. And she looks at the TV and sips. She kind of goes, She seems happy.
Hell yeah.
It's important to note that this movie is RAS produced. The Trinity only produces documentaries about actual battles in which, lots of real people died, but this is like the RAS action movie version.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or perhaps
I did not know that Ichthus Station had two boobs like that. Fucking RAS Productions.
This is the RAS production, the original actually that they copied blatantly off of was made during the transition, but due to the fact that it was the Great Transition, all roles were played by women, and there were no and there were some women in drag acting as some of the main male characters, but the male characters were rather sidelined. But the Wrath's production restored it to its historicity, quote unquote. Which
But
means
now
the
everyone's
moon
played
does
by
have
harassed.
tears, and everybody's harassed. And I'm sorry for saving you for last, but Catan, the air about the Plane family is rather tense. Ba Plane and Ma Plane are both kind of sitting at the table, and Wajanya is at the couch, and Mr. Plane kind of is sitting at the couch as well, but gives you a little bit of precedence, and he kind of says, "All right, come on over." And it seems like there's after the initial, Ryan actually helped put the things on the window, and Mrs. Plane being, "Oh, I'm so proud of you, Ryan, even though I'm not biologically related to you. You're a real swell guy. I'm gonna go now." She's usually not that awkward, but it's always weird around Ryan, and she's like not actually significantly older than him, and he's a little bit old to be such a man-child, and so it's a little weird. But they have their own weird dynamic elsewhere. Catan, you're in the room with all people that actually particularly care about the tense situation that just unfolded. Are there any last thoughts that you might have as a family meeting is certainly called?
Well, I don't know that I would have any last thoughts or anything, but I would definitely be there just to make sure that lasagna isn't bullied about it or anything, and that their feelings are actually being taken seriously, and even though yes, this is the most stereotypical late teen, young 20s bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Still gotta make sure everything is good, and just try to be a part of the conversation in ways if anyone starts to get angry, be there to step in if needed, that kind of thing.
It is a rather functional household, and they hear each other out, and you step in where needed. And after tear-felt hugs and a whole lot of discussion, she resolves that she's going to stay broken up with Morgana. Apparently it was kind of her call, though they both kind of agreed to it, but they were both kind of in the heat of the moment when it happened. And anyway, she's resolved that she's going to stay broken up, and kind of let Morgana explore the galaxy, because she's not interested in going that far afield, but does want the best for the person that she really does love.
Well, I mean, if her family is literally that functional, then why would she want to get away from home?
Exactly.
She's a teenager.
Yeah,
but she still has to move to the city, I think.
Permanently do it. Yeah, she's definitely I'm gonna stay on the planet where I can interact with the people that I love, as opposed to an entire planet away or further.
I did the equivalent of that. I moved literally 4,000, 2,500 miles away from anyone in my family.
Well, she's about there with you, and yeah, when the dust clears, there are tear-felt reunions and some less than tear-felt reunions as this weird bitch shows her face again. And the dust clears, and so too does the emotional turmoil for the time being. And we fade out from this.
And then the
rural-
Koi makes an emergency
this-
landing, and Patty's like, "What's wrong?"
Yeah. Well, fortunately, the Koi gave a negative result to that, and the pilot was a little bit too crossfaded at that point to do much of anything.
Fair.
And on the subject, because I'm sure we all want to get crossfaded if we haven't already, and I've already held everybody a little longer than I expected. I think we're gonna wrap it there.
Well, you know what they say. Creamers, always wrap it before you tap it.
Wow, that's an unexpected phrase, but not one I disagree with. Anyway,
Unless you get extensive testing like every 2 or 3 months, just go in for an STI checkup, then only sleep with people that you also know go in for regular testing, then
Of
not
course.
wrapping it is fine.
yeah, I mean, use your discretion, audience.
Listen, the creamers wrap it, but the dreamers, oh, they go in raw.
Jesus Christ. All right. So the session's over. Usually we do a bit of a feedback phase. I will save that for later because I'm sure we all have plenty of things to say, and we don't necessarily need to put that all on the air. Let's go ahead and get outros from everybody. If you are in the audience, or if you are in the game and you have something to promote, please go ahead and do so now. Let's start with the only person, as far as I'm aware, who does have something to promote. Crimson, give it
Give
to
us
us.
the sin.
Yes.
Where else can we find you? Because these Luddites don't have Twitter, and Lee and I are pretty well established on this.
Yeah, no worries. Again, hey y'all, Crimson Galaxy, Krimsin, because I'm not me without a little bit of sin. My pronouns are they, them, she, and they, and you can find me on Twitter at sin_gal, or as far as the games that I'm going to be in over the next few weeks, I have a couple session zeros coming up, so I'm not going to talk about those yet, but every other Sunday, not tomorrow, but next week, I have my Call of the Netherdeep campaign on Fool's Moon EI.
Ooh, yeah, we're friends with them.
Yeah.
Do we have an ad?
They do. I just can't remember.
Oh,
it
no,
off
no,
the top of
no.
my head.
Sorry. I was actually
none of
asking
our
to
link
leave.
bots. None of our link bots.
Oh,
working
our
on it,
link
I'm
bot
sorry.
doesn't work. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we've done a game of theirs. I was gonna drop it and be slick about it. Sorry.
I mean, technically, I'm the sensitivity, safety, and consent staff member over with Fool's Moon EI.
shit.
So yeah. And then on Wednesday, I will be back over on Party Wipe Games with Things
Woo-woo!
from the Flood, playing with Pat, and that's a really, really great game.
Oh, it is so good.
And honestly, those are like the only 2 weekly things right now. But like I said, I have 3 more session zeros in the works over the next few weeks, and within the next month, I'll have some more games going on.
All right. Well, we'll we've already dropped your Twitter, and you're obviously close knit with me. So if you ever need to promote something, I'll make sure that it gets to the right channels. I think you're in a Discord. It doesn't matter. If you're not a promoter, we'll make sure you are.
Cool.
All right.
So,
Well,
yeah, with that, I believe it's raid time.
absolutely.
We're gonna raid Smada. He's live and he's playing inside the back rooms. I was gonna raid Preco's Rejects, but they have their thanks for watching the screen up, so I think they're done for tonight.
Yep. That does it.
Fairly well.
I'm gonna need to real quick run to the bathroom, but then I'll hear any and all feedback. I'm sure I have
Pulling the trigger.